Hello, everyone. What is going on? My name is Timpedia. Sorry for missing last week. And welcome back to the TNT podcast. I am the TI. I am Tim. Second, we have the AN.
AN, which is really just the FR because I'm Friedman.
And the TY, even though there should be a J before that for just Tyler.
Oh my god.
But hey, man.
How about
we're the T for J podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Tifferge. The Tifferge.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a lot of shit to cover because we missed last week. Sorry about that. Freeman had an emergency work thing where he was like, I gotta stay forever. And
It was just not a lot of fun.
I wanted to enjoy my first 8-hour workday in over 4 months. So me and Tyler were like, we didn't even talk about it, but I just assumed we were just not going to try to get a guest. And we had D&D the next day, so fuck it. Let's just do it next week.
Yeah, it was like that.
Plus, there wasn't a ton last week, was there?
I think I put my notes in on Tuesday.
Yeah, I put in some notes too, but I think the first topic I was already raring to go last week about it.
So we let it simmer for a little while.
It did, and I think I didn't even give any thought to this, and you know what? I'm just gonna go right into it. I'm just gonna jump right into it.
Tyler, just go right into it.
Yeah, you know what, Bungie, oh my god, I don't even know at this point if it's Bungie or not, but basically, there's been a lot of controversy with Destiny recently. In addition to the whole, we talked about the EXP throttling, correct?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now, in the past, I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago, they had released the new DLC, something Osiris, the Osiris DLC, right? And so everybody's like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," but there's people like me. I'm like, I can't really get into this right now, right? And so Bungie was like, "Well, fuck you guys. You don't want to get DLC. Looks like you ain't doing Nightfall. Looks like you ain't doing any of these strikes.
Savage. And
you're not doing the prestige for the raids." And to give listeners some context, so when you reach the level cap, right, and you beat all the stuff, you get to do these things called strikes, which are like kind of repetitive missions, but you do them with other people, and they are basically the only way after the game is done, right, to get more stuff like better armor, other equipment, level up faster, everything like that. And so since the new Osiris DLC came out, they raised the level cap on that. But in raising the level cap, they said that, okay, we have to go back and we have to raise the level requirements for all of these other events as well. And which point, locking these events so people who only own the base game could not experience it.
Wow.
Yep. And you figure
mega fucked.
This game hasn't even been out for 2 months.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And they did that in the first game, but at least they gave us like a year and some change, I think.
To enjoy the vanilla game.
Yeah, to enjoy the vanilla game, and now they do this shit.
Yeah.
And I thought about it for a couple days, and then I got so angry I just uninstalled. Yeah. I know a lot of people are asking for refunds too.
Dude, so I'm going to level with you guys. When it became clear that we weren't going to be able to, just because of work, it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen for us to record Destiny. Because, D&D bounces around, the podcast bounces around. Freeman, you have, emergencies, and I just...
Yeah.
This is my first full week working 40 hours in 4 months. I actually uninstalled about a week and a half ago and tried to get a refund, and they're like, "Oh, we don't do refunds, sorry." I literally have only installed and never launched the game, and they wouldn't give me a refund.
Damn. So, and I know they have ways of tracking hours.
If you actually haven't started the game, if you might be able to get a refund and say, "Look, Freeman, I was planning on starting it, but now
I literally sent a message saying I was going to play this with some friends. I made up some bullshit about they were busy and I don't have time. I have never launched the game." And the guy's like, "Sorry about your friends. We can't give refunds."
Damn. You know what you should do? My one buddy from work, he put in a ticket with Blizzard. And, I mean, it's probably not going to work. But he put in the excuse, because we went on Reddit, right? Because we're like, we kind of want a refund, too. Because this is horse shit.
Yeah.
they were like, you could put in a ticket and be like, my, oh yeah, the reason was you can't, because some trophies you can't unlock. I mean, granted, they fixed it. They patched it in a hot fix yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an addendum to the story, right? Bungie went back and they're like, yeah, we realized we messed up and that is not good. And so we fixed the strike so everybody with the base game can still enjoy it. But that isn't good enough for me. It's not. I have never felt so betrayed by a company. Like yeah, there's like EA and it's like, but you know, I was never so invested in like EA and whatever they did, but I've been with Bungie since Combat Evolved, and you know, I'm like, you know what, I like the idea of Destiny. I'm gonna give it a shot. Even when the first game didn't really live up to my expectations, I'm like, you know what, maybe Destiny 2 will be all right. You know, it's Bungie. And now I'm just like, wow, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even blame Activision completely for this because, like, Bungie is in charge of, you know, keeping communication with its player base and trying to figure out like what everybody does. And like this was the final straw for me. I can't do it.
How long between them announcing this and them actually trying to remedy the situation was it?
About a week. Because this fix, I just read it. The fix came out yesterday, or at least it's gonna come out this week during the new update. But so yeah, like I said, like it came out. I think Osiris came out last week or like the week before that. But like in doing all of these things, it prevented people from getting trophies / achievements on the console side. You know, so that like got people pissed off, even though I'm surprised people still care about achievements.
There's the whole thing about achievements and trophies for like Xbox and PS4. But I remember when they were changing Mercy's Res in Overwatch, it became an issue because with the redesign, you couldn't get one of the trophies. And Sony has a policy against you like patching your game so that a trophy is no longer obtainable. And I think Sony's kind of like backpedal on their policy because they realize more and more games are going to start doing stuff like this.
I mean, as more MOBAs come out, like characters get hell. Like this is not really. I'm not trying to talk about it, but League put out a video the other day where they talked about what they've done for 2017, and they're like, "Yeah, we put out 5 new champions and 4 completely reworked old champions over the course of 2017." And it's like,
they did. Sorry, I thought you were saying they were going to.
No, they did in 2017.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, imagine if there were achievements specifically tied to those old versions of those characters. Like, off the top of my head, at least 2 of them are completely different than they were before. So it's like, just fucked.
I know Sony's short-term solution is just like if a trophy's not obtainable, you remove it as being a requirement for the platinum trophies.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Which is like fine, I guess. Yeah. Like that's like I don't really care. I haven't played for trophies since I was in high school.
Same.
Because that was like the thing, but
yeah,
right. But like, who really gives a shit?
Have I told the story about the guy who I was friends with in my Photoshop class in high school? Who was?
I was there. Didn't he play like all the easy games to 100%?
I forgot you were in that class. Like I remember because I remember Adam and this other kid Kevin. I forgot you were in that class. He actually specifically bought the King Kong video game because it was 1,000 points to finish the game and nothing else, and then he returned it for a full refund. He was one of those guys.
I think we all know that. We all knew that kid. I remember there's this one kid, right? I was cool with him in high school. Like now we're even better because like, you know, he grew up. But back then he was like this achievement whore, right? And I have 2 separate stories on this, and they're short. Do you guys remember that multiplayer that was cross-platform? It was called Shadowrun. It was like the Shadowrun video game.
Sounds familiar.
I remember it, but I don't really remember anything about it. But I remember the name Shadowrun.
Yeah, but there's one achievement, right, where you have to backstab like 100 people.
Okay. Right,
and cause them to bleed. And the thing about that game was like, you know, there was friendly fire, and that contribution to this achievement can not only you don't have to just get it from doing enemies, but you can also do it on your teammates. and that counted. So, and the thing is about with the getting backstabbed, if you get stabbed with the sword, you bleed out. Like, you can't do anything about it. You have to stick here near a healing tree, or else you'll die. It's an automatic death.
Just like real life.
Yeah, so what he would do is we would play, and I'm like, dude, you can't backstab me, like, because he did it once, and he would keep doing it, and I'm like, dude, I can't do this with you. I couldn't play the game with him. He's like, oh, come on, don't be like that. And I'm like,
Dude,
get the fuck out of here.
Like that, fuck you.
But then Karma got his ass, because when he got 100,000 gamer score point, his shit got hacked.
Damn.
I feel slightly bad because he dumped, obviously, like $100+ on the Xbox Live Marketplace on games that he would never get back ever again. But it's like, damn, all that work, all that money spent just to get this 100,000 gamer score, and it got hacked. I don't feel bad. But speaking of, speaking of arcade games,
we have so much stuff to cover. But this.
All right, these two are really
Nintendo
short.
News.
This is just 2 Nintendo announcements for Switch. The first one is that Mega Man is coming out of retirement. Capcom is finally dusting off the series after being pretty silent about them.
Also because of my number 9.
Yeah, they're bringing all of the previous like numbered Mega Man games, like Mega Man, was it 1 through 11, are being re-released on Switch. Or no, it was 1 through 10.
I think it was 1 through 10 because now 11's the new
11
one.
is the new one that is also coming to Switch. I don't know if they announced other platforms for it, but it's cool that they're doing that. They've honestly been letting Mega Man as a franchise just vanish. He's only shown up as like characters in Smash Bros. Or crossover fighting games. Like ever since they canceled Mega Man Legends 3.
There's the two Mega Man characters in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. There's like X and
and Zero.
Yeah.
Well, they said, I remember them saying like a while back, they're like, oh, we're not really doing any more Mega Man games.
Which
prompted Mighty Number 9.
And then Mighty Number 9 came out and was a shit show, and everyone's like, well, maybe there's just money sitting here in Meter, why not?
No, right? I can almost guarantee that was the case, because Capcom's like, yo, y'all didn't like Mighty Number 9?
No, you know what they were really like? They were like, oh, Inafune-san, you thought you were big shit, huh? Let's fucking prove we don't need your ass anymore.
Oh, saw the Crash Bandicoot remaster. Like, people like platformers still? Let's get on this.
Yeah, holy shit. We never even talked about the Crash remake.
Oh, yeah.
Not that
I never played it.
Yeah, I barely played it.
I'd watched people play it just because I remember from my childhood, it's the same game.
The last time...
It's still just as frustrating to play. The game was not easy.
The last time I played anything like Crash, because it wasn't the actual game, but if you play Uncharted 4, Naughty Dog threw like this 5-minute Crash Bandicoot challenge. Like, Nathan Drake boots up a PS1 at one point in the game and starts playing Crash Bandicoot.
Oh my god.
That shit fucked me up.
Anyway, the other announcement for Switch was that Bayonetta 3 is happening.
Dude, I can't believe that this series keeps somehow staying alive.
So here's the thing.
Right?
Here's the thing. The top comments on Reddit this got announced is like, God damn it, it's for Switch. It's not for a real console. This is BS. Why are they making this decision? The fact of the matter is, Nintendo is the only company that will pay Platinum Games to make another Bayonetta.
Apparently.
And like, I played Bayonetta 1. I thought it was a fun game, but in terms of like the plot, I had no clue what was going on. It felt like this thing just got slapped together because like, quick, just make a sexy version of Devil May Cry. And you know, it was okay. And when they announced it too, I'm like, there's no way they're making a second one. And then when I saw Nintendo was funding the whole thing, I'm like, what? Okay, what's going on here? But the fact that Nintendo is really in on this, we will have mature titles on our console,
and only Bayonetta will be the mature title.
Well, no. They've got the new Shin Megami Tensei, which is not the most child-friendly game.
We all know Mad World ain't coming back because that shit flopped.
No one gives a shit about Shin Megami Tensei outside of Weeb
fuck out of here,
Japan.
What do you think Nintendo is?
What do you mean?
It's a Japanese Weeb
Hold on.
company.
Persona 5. Well, I know I'm skipping, but they got RPG of the Year.
That's not exclusive to the Switch.
No, but it's part of the Shin Megami Tensei franchise.
Okay, but but then it's not an exclusive Nintendo thing.
Doesn't matter. It's a legitimate franchise.
Hold on. Is Shin Megami Tensei exclusively Nintendo?
No, it's
Then
all
why
over
did
the
you
place.
bring it up? The whole thing is Bayonetta is exclusively Nintendo.
Well, no, I'm talking
That's
about
what I
Nintendo's
mean.
getting more mature titles in general.
I mean exclusive titles is only Bayonetta.
Listen, all I want is a No More Heroes 3.
Look, all I want is to
I doubt
take
you're
my
alone.
Nintendo Switch and not
Yeah.
have someone tell me, "Hey, that Game Boy looks pretty big." That's all I want.
That Game
And
Boy is
life.
pretty big.
Have you actually heard someone say that?
Yeah, someone has referred to it as a Game Boy.
Oh,
I believe
that
it.
feels
I
good.
brought it to work
That's-
once to play Mario Kart with my coworkers during lunch, and someone called it a Game Boy. Not someone from
Oh,
our
yeah.
generation, but
That's just. I can just see you sitting there and just giving them the dirtiest fucking look ever. Be like, why the fuck are
Jesus.
you talking to me? Even
I saw this one
Goddamn.
meme this week where it was making fun of like the way moms refer to video games, and they had like a bunch of PlayStations on screen, and underneath all of them, I was like, "Oh, that's a Nintendo, that's a Nintendo, that's a Nintendo," and they put a DS on screen. She's like, "That's a Game Boy."
That's a Game Boy. I mean, are they wrong?
Get the fuck out of here. So you mentioned
aren't
mentioned
they all
Persona-
just Game Boys?
you mentioned Persona 5 won an award.
Yes.
What kind of award did it win? My
He just wants
transition.
to hear it. He just wants to hear it.
No, I was
It's
trying to transition us.
best RPG.
But where did it win the award from?
The
Oh, yeah, the Game Awards.
The Game Awards.
Wait,
oh man,
Game
that's what we were going to talk about.
Awards.
Freeman, this isn't really part of what you said, but you mentioned Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
There's a new Devil May Cry coming next year. Apparently, it's
Christ.
ignoring that shit, the one that everyone says is shit. Even though I had fun playing it, but I haven't played another one.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, apparently
heard
they're
a lot
bringing
of
back
mixed
old
reviews.
Dante.
Interesting. As opposed to redesign Dante.
Yeah, no. Apparently, they like market research probably shows that everyone fucking hated that loser and likes white-haired Dante.
Weebs don't like realism.
Anyway,
Yeah.
video game awards. Hey, look, Zelda won Game of the Year. No one's surprised.
Yeah,
Actually.
people were salty. They were like, "What the fuck do you mean PUBG got nominated?" I was
Oh
like,
my
"God
God.
damn."
Did it really? That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
We'll
not
talk about PUBG later.
upset.
The game
Yeah,
hasn't
no,
actually
well-
released yet.
That's
Yeah, the
fair.
game hasn't
That's
really.
fair.
Yeah, I'm just talking about in context to this.
Although,
Yeah.
didn't 1.0, like, I know we're going to try to talk about it later, but didn't 1.0 just come out, like, after the awards, obviously, but is it out or is it announced, Tyler?
It's not out. It's announced.
out.
Like, well,
Never
it's
mind.
it. Yeah. We'll get to that later.
yeah, for sure.
But that happened last week. I didn't even know that this was happening.
yeah,
But he
I,
had some dope ass trailers though.
I had
Oh
no
my
idea
God.
it was happening. Like, every year you see ads everywhere. This year I saw nothing, but then I saw on IGN, like, the Death Stranding trailer from the Game Awards is here. And I'm like, oh, I guess the Game Awards happened.
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah, there was
I
like no hype.
what the
They just
fuck?
kind of like happened. Like I came in
Yeah.
to work the next day. I'm like, oh, all these threads about this awards ceremony that happened.
Oh, I guess this awards
Yeah.
ceremony happened. Actually,
But
while
yeah.
you guys are
That's
talking, I'm
weird.
going to try to find the full list of winners from IGN. So keep talking.
Oh,
All right, I'll jump
alright.
in. I'll jump into talking about the Death Stranding trailer because my buddy's like, "Yo, go check it out." And I open up YouTube and I see it's like 9 minutes 52 seconds. I'm like, Jesus, what kind of trailer is this?
Yeah, it's like a
Nice.
short movie.
That's pretty much. I watched through it, and this feels like the essence of like Kojima's like weird supernatural writing shit from Metal Gear Solid 4, just like personified into a different game series.
Dude, it's
It's fucking.
you know what I learned? I did not know Guillermo del Toro was on this game.
Oh, he is. Yeah, after Silent Hills
Don't-
got canceled.
Yeah, I was
Had
going to say,
no
remember him
idea.
and Kojima were like, yo, we're best friends
Yeah,
for life.
no,
yo.
I knew that,
Hashtag
but I had
killing it.
no clue because I thought he was done. I thought he was like, "Yo, fuck video games. I ain't doing this shit anymore."
And then he's like, yo,
And
for
told his buddy
Kojima, I'll
Kojima.
do it, baby.
But like the icing on the cake when this trailer came out, again, I'm just gonna reference the Reddit threads. The top post was just someone saying, "Is this why Kojima got fired from Konami? He just had this. He just called everyone to the presentation room and just had a bunch of pictures of Norman Reedus naked on a beach and said, 'This is my new game.' And they're just like, 'Get the fuck out of here.'"
"Get the fuck out of here."
Also,
Oh man.
just a few more announcements that we missed. I know Death Stranding with Norman. I didn't watch the trailer, so I don't know anything about it.
CGI Norman Reedus looks way cleaner than real life Norman Reedus does.
Yes.
Teaser for a new FromSoft game. A lot of people are saying Bloodborne 2, but
Oh,
it's probably
yeah.
not. It looks creepy as fuck, though. There's like a weird winch inside an arm thing. It's fucking weird. Along with Bayonetta 3, 1 and 2 are getting ported to the Switch, which is an important part of the
Well,
announcement.
just give me a chance to actually play 2 before 3 comes out.
Soul Calibur 6, which whatever In the Valley of Gods from the Firewatch guys is, Fade to Silence, whatever that is, PUBG 1.0 release date with the cool
Whatever
trailer.
that game is.
Sea of Thieves, that sweet Microsoft piracy game. If that's cool, that's neat. A bunch of shit. I don't care about any of this. I don't care about
A bunch of
this.
shit I don't give a fuck about.
Nope. New Metro coming next fall. That's hype. I fucking loved Last Light when I played that recently.
That game's cool.
Who the fuck cares about a World War Z video game?
Based on the movie or based on the book?
Warframe stuff. All right,
War
so anyway,
Farm.
here's the awards. Here's the winners. It doesn't list everybody. Game of the Year, Zelda. Best Game Direction, Zelda. Narrative, What Remains of Edith Finch. I have no idea.
Ooh, that sounds
game.
like a weird game.
That's some indie shit right there.
Here's some good ones. Art Direction, Cuphead. Hell yeah.
Oh no.
If
Scorn,
it didn't win that,
dude,
I would have been pissed.
if after how many years it had to win. Best Score Music, Tyler. Near Automata.
Yeah.
Oh
Best
nice.
Audio
I'm surprised, but okay.
Audio Design, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice.
Yeah, that's like
Persona
a
5 should have won.
Whatever Ninja Theory game. Best performance in the girl who played Hellblade, or Senua in
and
Hellblade.
Senua's Sacrifice. Yeah.
Games for Impact, that also won, whatever the hell that means. Best ongoing game, Overwatch. Indie game.
It's like
Overtake.
Games for Impact is like stuff like games that like make you feel some shit.
Oh, okay.
Like it's supposed to like prove
I've
a
never
point.
heard-
Like how
I've heard of this Hellblade thing before, but I have no idea anything about it.
Oh, it's about this Viking warrior. She goes on like this quest to save her mate, and she has like severe PTSD. So like while going through this quest, she like encounters a bunch of visions and like a bunch of things. So like things in real life, right? She is combating against like
Mhm.
it does not look that way in real life, but like that's how she's conveying it in her head because she's so fucked up.
I did not even hear about this game.
Yeah, it was pretty low key. It came out this year. It's been on my list of things that I've really wanted to play this year.
I mean, if it won this many awards, it's got to be something.
Yeah.
But anyway, we still got a whole bunch to go through. Ongoing Overwatch, independent game Cuphead. I mean, that game, Cuphead seems like it just deserves all of this. Like all the reviews were good. I don't think I've heard anything really heavily disparaging about Cuphead.
The only thing people say about it is that it's hard, but that's fucking garbage.
I mean,
Like,
that seems like the whole point of the game.
Yes, it's supposed to be like one of those like throwbacks to the old SNES games and before. Like that shit was just hard.
Best mobile game, Monument Valley 2. Who cares? Sorry, not to disparage fucker losers.
Damn.
No, I'm kidding.
Damn.
There's too many spam videos. Even, oh my god, I don't know if you guys still watch or ever watch The Angry Video Game Nerd, but he just did a sponsored episode by a mobile game. And
Really?
I felt fucking filthy because he's never had a big sponsored thing before.
Man,
He's selling out.
damn.
I mean, with Adpocalypse, I doubt he gets a lot of ads on his YouTube videos anymore.
Yeah.
True.
Anyway,
True.
best handheld game, Metroid: Samus Returns. That's cool. I don't know how Zelda doesn't win. I guess that's like a 3DS game, Friedman. I don't know.
Wait, sorry, which one?
Metroid: Samus Returns. Is that
Yeah,
only
that was for 3DS.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for 3DS.
Best VR AR, Resident Evil 7. That's kind of neat. Best action game, Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. I played the first one; it was pretty good, and New Doom was fucking amazing. But I didn't play New Colossus. Best action adventure, obviously Zelda. Best role playing, Persona 5. There you go. Friedman.
Yeah.
Best fighting game actually went to Injustice 2. Best family game, Super Mario Odyssey, which I'm amazed okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Friedman. You probably know better than me at least. If Zelda didn't win everything, Mario would have won everything. Like it
So I
sounds
can't
like Odyssey
say
is the
that
best
because
thing.
I haven't personally played Odyssey. The problem is every time a Mario game comes out, it's always like hyped to high heaven.
Oh, I'm
I've
sure.
never heard
It is
anyone
good. I will say it's
disappointed that a
good.
Mario
I've
game
played it.
launched.
I've played it for all of like 2 hours.
I mean, it sounds
think
like,
it's pretty
oh.
good.
Like like all the hype seems to be behind Mario. It's like, oh, this is the best one since Galaxy.
Look, as much as everyone bitched about Sunshine, every Mario game has been the best Mario game to date. The
Yeah.
series consistently gets better with each release, and that's just the way it is. It's always going to be a better Mario game.
All right, almost done. Strategy game Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That okay.
Game of the year.
Why isn't it
Doesn't-
XCOM 2?
Look,
I
okay,
don't know.
You're probably correct, Tyler, but it's sad to think that I don't even know what else could have been nominated for that category, and I love strategy games.
XCOM
that's sad.
2, the
Apparently, this game is
expansion.
actually really fun. Like people on the Switch subreddit always praise this game.
Look, Freeman, honestly, I'm going to sound like a bitch. I don't give a fuck if it's a good game. I want something else. Please remind people that strategy games exist.
I
That's
also
why this
don't.
game
please
exists to
God.
remind you.
I don't.
That
I
doesn't
also
count.
don't
It's
support.
Mario. What?
I also don't support the bastardization that came from the Rayman franchise.
Oh my god!
Like
yeah,
Rabbids.
this is all that's left of it. This is all that's
Rabbids
left.
are the minions of the video game universe.
The
Yeah, I
basically,
fucking said it.
You're not
Yeah.
wrong.
All right, we're
God.
almost done. Best sports racing Forza 7, which is cool. I mean, Forza seems to be good every single year it
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah.
Best multiplayer PUBG. Most anticipated Last of Us Part 2. Trending gamer Dr. Disrespect. I
What?
don't
Oh yeah, this
know
gets
who-
into like, the
streaming shit.
like the people, the streaming and the
yeah.
competitors and stuff like that.
Best esports game Overwatch, which is hilarious considering the best esports player is Faker from SK Telecom and League of Legends, which is, I mean, he fucking deserves it in a hot second. Freeman, you know a little bit about League, and you probably know
Yeah,
who Faker
no,
is.
I know who he is. He's really
Oh.
good.
Tyler, do you know who Faker is?
I have been told about who Faker
Okay,
is.
so someone has told you he's basically
Yes.
the undisputed king of the game
God of League.
right.
for the last 5 years. Best esports team Cloud9. Do they have an Overwatch team? I would imagine they do.
Yeah,
pretty
they have
good
they have a
one.
team in everything.
I know they do in League, but I don't know. I don't follow.
They
other
have a
games,
team in
so
League. They have a
shit.
team in Overwatch. They have a team in CS:GO.
There's a Student Game
Dota.
Award. I don't even know who. I don't even care. It's some people from something called Swinburne University. Level squared. I don't know. Best.
No one gives a
debut
shit
indie
about
game.
them.
Somehow there's a best independent and best debut indie is also Cuphead. And then Chinese Fan Game Award, whatever the fuck that is, JX3HD. Don't know. Either way, quite a spread of winners. Let's keep going. We got a lot of shit to cover.
You got a lot of shit.
All right,
Keep moving.
Tyler, take us from
Oh.
the video games to the Netflix.
To more Marvel stuff. Yeah, man. Marvel's doing a lot of stuff. Coming off of that trailer hype, was it 2 weeks ago? They announced Jessica Jones and The Punisher. Actually, I didn't know that they announced The Punisher 2 season.
I just added that because I just was on
Okay.
IGN and they said I don't know. I don't think it was part of the announcement, but yeah, like you said, Jessica Jones season 2 is premiering in March on the 8th,
Yeah, March 8th.
and they also announced that Punisher's getting a season 2, which I find kind of amazing considering how not the fault of the first one, but this whole Rocky thing with the Las Vegas shooting pushing the premiere and everything. back.
Yeah.
I feel like they might have been kind of chased away. Plus, the big news about that, I know I'm kind of diverting us from Jessica Jones, but there's not much more than the announcement there.
Yeah.
It's honestly like, what wasn't there this whole thing about Disney moving everything over? I thought we were kind of expecting to be done with Netflix shows from Marvel.
Well, I mean, I think I don't know if there was like some kind of a contract thing where like they already knew they were going to do X number of seasons, and now they're just announcing it, kind of thing.
Also, I don't know if that can't be 100% true. I feel like they have to stick with Netflix because The Runaways literally just premiered last month
That
On
was
Hulu.
Hulu, yeah.
on Hulu. I feel like if they did that to Netflix, that'd be like a little weird.
What,
Or, like,
pull their stuff just as
misplaced.
Hulu's getting something.
Like they would have to pull Hulu because with Netflix,
Well, they're not going to pull Hulu. They are currently 30% market holders of Hulu, and if they, we'll get to the Fox.
no.
Actually, if they acquire Fox, they'll have 60% of Hulu.
Oh,
So,
Jesus.
They wouldn't pull out of
See?
that.
I want to wait.
It's all getting wrapped in.
Oh, that's in. Do we want to move this up? I
Yeah,
kind of want to talk about
Talk
this.
about it
Yeah.
now.
because I don't like this.
It's
I
funny
kind of
that
don't like this.
It's funny that this is just news that I threw in, but as of excuse me,
It's fresh today, right?
not fresh today. We've been hearing about it since last week. Actually, I've seen headlines since last week.
Yeah.
The news though. So Disney is apparently very close to signing a deal with Fox to get all of their entertainment assets, and the actual news that came out either today or yesterday was that Comcast, who was the other big bidder, bowed out. So now it's basically just cleanup to dot the I's and cross the T's and finish up the deal, which could come this month or next month to have Disney buy Fox.
Like, is it 20th Century Fox, or is it just limited to, like, that's... See, I don't know if I like that.
Okay, you know what? Let's get.
As far as I know, it was their movie production and distribution was at least the primary focus of most of the articles that I read. I don't know if they're acquiring anything else.
All right, Fox Disney on glide. 20th Century Fox are on track for a Thursday deal announcement from CNBC, which just played an ad that's gonna have 2 seconds in the video.
I'm just gonna read the headline to you.
But yeah, it's 20th Century Fox. Gonna gobble them up.
See, I feel like Disney's getting too big.
See, I spent all day screaming Monopoly, but everyone else was screaming X-Men in the MCU, X-Men in the MCU.
Dude, it's so smart. I don't want to say that they controlled the narrative, but as soon as that new, like the fact that Chris Evans, one of the first things when this was rumored was he was like, I'd love a Human Torch / Captain America buddy cop movie where they team up, and it's like just him scooching around, but still it's like, fuck.
I don't want that. I don't want this at all because here's my problem. Like, are they gonna keep Deadpool? Are they gonna keep like
Disney's Deadpool?
Yeah, like I don't know if they're gonna do that. Like, I mean, it'd be smart if they did, right? Like, if they went back to like what I proposed, right? Like, if Fox had like their own like Marvel Max movie series where it was just like Marvel movies for adults, and they had like the off-brand heroes doing like really fucked up shit, I'd be cool with that.
But Disney's not gonna.
Disney, I don't feel like Disney would do that. I don't like, because like we have Deadpool 2 coming out, and I feel like that's gonna be it. I feel like that's gonna be the last of it if this deal goes through.
There has to be something else in production that, like, with how far out movies are getting done, we're gonna see at least 1 or 2 more movies from Fox. There's probably an X-Men movie stirring somewhere. I mean, Dark Phoenix.
Obviously.
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix is coming out.
You just saw the picture of what's her face from Game of Thrones, Sophie Turner or whatever, where she was like the first image of her as Phoenix.
Wait, did you guys see the Venom trailer? Sorry to derail this.
Not. No, it's okay.
No.
Did not.
It's comic.
I accidentally saw it yesterday. I was disappointed.
Tyler?
I never cared about Venom. I never cared, so I never.
Trailers I've ever seen.
Is it? Wait, really, Freeman?
Like, it was just a bad trailer.
I mean, you went from like this is kind of bad to this is one of the worst.
Like, I wanted to gauge your reaction before I called it out, but like maybe go check it out. Like,
didn't even know it was out.
Yeah, I'll go check it out.
We'll check it out on the break.
Yeah.
That's shitty.
But one of the other things everyone was talking about, like why Disney wants Fox, is just that Fox still has distribution rights to the original Star Wars trilogy.
Oh,
and that is something that Disney really wants.
Oh,
give me that fucking dude! It's literally money on the table.
Actually,
it's like Disney's gonna. Jesus, Disney prints money.
They do, man. They're like, yo, they're just like Blizzard. They're like, man, you know what my space could really use? Another solid gold Humvee. Yo, when are we putting out this new expansion? And then they put out a new expansion.
Dude, Tyler, it's not going to be a solid gold Humvee. It's going to be a solid gold car designed by Disney in 3 years, where they're just going to buy a car maker and be like, ride around in your branded Captain America mobile.
Yo, I could totally see Tesla and Disney forming a merger.
Tyler,
the Ford TIE Fighter.
I was going to say that, but you have to imagine Elon Musk wouldn't do that.
No.
There's no fucking way.
No, he's too rich for
Tesla
that.
Model X-wing.
Oh,
Tesla
happening.
Model X-wing.
now he might partner for some shit like that, but he would never let Disney buy Tesla.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. The partner, like they would totally like merge.
Sure,
It'd be
why
like
not?
whatever. I don't know what the fuck it would be. No, the day will come when Blizzard, Steam, and Disney will become a huge
Oh my
conglomerate,
God. No, get Blizzard out of there, honestly.
and they will, dude.
What are
Blizzard.
what are they like? Blizzard makes some good games, but then there's just Activision. Are you lumping them together?
Oh yeah, Blizz Activision.
Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck-
Well,
like honestly, Overwatch is the one thing. If you're gonna go
What do
by
you mean, World
Overwatch,
of-
you should say Riot Games because they're
World of Warcraft.
yeah.
World of Warcraft.
If it was
Both
2009, I'd say StarCraft, but I don't know
Yeah,
anymore.
StarCraft
Yeah.
is pretty dead.
Oh my! They
Hearthstone,
handed
though.
real quick about StarCraft. I saw like the Blizzard gave me a notification, a bunch of like free
Yep,
gifts or
I
whatever,
got
and it's
free
like,
gift.
yeah, they gave me the second StarCraft 2 expansion for free.
Yep,
They just don't
Yeah.
care anymore.
they don't. They probably
Because
have
it's
made,
a dead game.
they probably have made more money off of the StarCraft 1 remastered sales than
Probably.
the fucking StarCraft 2 sales.
Oh yeah, probably.
Because StarCraft 1 remastered, you have to imagine that like every person in Korea bought that
Yeah.
game.
Goddamn.
And they're all better at it than all of us put together.
Yeah. Speaking of games I can't get good at, PUBG.
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 talked
Man,
about
I
it
put
before.
in. Yeah, we briefly talked about it, but we were like gonna be like, oh, like version 1 is coming out soon.
And along with
Ish.
that, The
Vaulting.
oh, well,
Vault.
Man, I don't give a
the
shit
game changer.
about X-Bone.
no, Tyler, this is massive. This
You
is
don't
like-
understand what this means.
Care though.
Wait, what do you mean you don't know what it means, Freeman?
No, I'm saying that Tyler doesn't understand what this means.
Oh, no, this
No,
is like
I
Titanic.
understand. I understand what it means. I don't care.
I think this is Microsoft's single. If they could have done any single thing to help pull them back into the game and stop getting slammed by Sony, this was the like they literally threw out a hook and it just grabbed onto the rocket that was fucking taken off like better than everything
Oh
else.
yeah, because you know why? Because they don't give a shit. Like with their compliance, they don't care. Sony's
their
compliance is actually
compliance.
fucking retarded.
Yeah, they're very strict.
Like Sony's compliance is retarded. Like
I mean, in
I
defense of Sony, PUBG is like one of the worst games in terms of like raw quality. The fact that I
Yeah.
can see the inside of my character's eyeballs when I load into a map just pisses the ever living crap out of
Okay,
me.
but
Yeah.
you can't say that that's the reason Microsoft got an exclusive console deal and Sony.
Oh
didn't
no!
get to
I'm
get
just
it.
explaining why Sony is the way it is. I think that they may lose because of this because PUBG is the game of our generation apparently.
yeah, I mean it's spawning all these other retarded.
So not like I think that that's probably a bit much, but
Actually,
like there have been other flash in the pan. Like look at we have Minecraft and
Minecraft
PUBG,
is like a prime example.
and they're both
Yeah.
on Microsoft. Like I think Minecraft came to PlayStation, right? Eventually,
Later, yeah, but it was Microsoft
but
for a while.
Microsoft branding is still over.
Well, no,
all
they
over
still
Microsoft
own
brand.
it.
Yeah, that's what I
They
mean.
Yeah.
still own it. Yeah.
It's still on everything, and then PUBG is like the only reason League isn't always at the top of Twitch anymore is because of PUBG.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That game is crazy. And you know what? They're only making it better. Like this new test server.
I was gonna say, Tyler,
That
why don't
they
you talk
came
about
out.
the new map?
Oh man, it's fantastic. It's a desert. I didn't think I would be so in love to go back to Arizona, but I am. But like they it's like they took the experience that was like that made the game almost like it was a DayZ clone, and they're making it a lot better. Like one of the biggest complaints I had, and I was about to shit talk it, was the compass, right? So like at the top of your screen you have like a compass or whatever, like you look and you can see like what directional numbers there are. They made that a lot more prominent. And now they have a new feature for vaulting. So instead of like having to crouch jump over shit, right, you just walk up to an object, right, like a flat surface, that is of a certain height, and you can vault over it. Like you do like an animation, and you go up to like wherever you need to go. And the best part about that is they took the level design, and with that new feature in mind, they tailored a lot of the environment and buildings
In the new
to
map.
that vaulting. Yeah, in the new map, in the new desert map, to this vaulting.
They didn't
Mechanic.
retweak the original map, did they?
No,
doubt
not
they
that I
would.
have seen. No, that'd be some shit. But
Like, what if they did?
what if they did? It would
Would you
depend.
be happy? Would you be upset?
You know what? I probably would be okay with it, but in terms of me wanting them to make the game playable for everyone, I'd be a little peeved. Because that's one of my biggest things right now. Right? Like, I mean, I can play it, but I know a lot of people who cannot play it.
Except now that
Because
it's on
of how-
Xbox. No.
Yeah, I'll say, well, that's the thing. I don't know how well they're gonna polish it for one, right? I don't know how broken it's gonna
I
be.
feel like, I mean, the headlines I just saw are like, it's not great, but it's not as good as PC, but it's still PUBG. And
yeah,
I have to imagine Microsoft is giving them a lot of money. Because Microsoft can't be stupid enough to be like, it's okay if this turns out shitty. Like, I feel like if they're going to hunt down the deal for this, they have to care a lot.
oh yeah. I mean, there's probably a lot of compliance and everything like that going on. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's good. Hopefully, it'll come to PS4 because I have PlayStation 4 friends that love the Last of Us multiplayer, and all Last of Us multiplayer is like sneaking around and like trying
Survival.
to survival, like backstab people, kill each other, and I think they'd get a real kick out of this game. But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that's going because now, man, it, like you said, it's taken off.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was actually going to get this big, but it's spawned the wave of battle royale games across the board now. I think even Dying Light, as dead as that game is,
Oh my
they're
gosh.
trying to start a battle royale game as well, along with
Holy shit.
Fortnite.
I mean, I told you guys that I played that Fortnite that night of the storm a few weeks ago at my downstairs
Yeah.
neighbors.
Oh, actually, I don't remember you saying that. Did you like it, or what was the
all
deal?
right. I mean, I only played one round. I survived until like the last 10, but I don't even know if I killed anybody. I might have killed one guy.
It's not about killing; it's about living.
See, you say that.
That's how I
Right.
win every game. Is just hide till the end.
You do hide until the end. You hide until the end, and then you get pincered or you get circle fucked. That's how that game works.
You flip a coin, bam. That's PUBG in a nutshell.
Yeah. They changed a lot about the game though that made it a lot easier to play. Like it's almost like quality of life has gotten better with
Sweet.
that game.
All right. Let's. We're almost done, and we're already 45 minutes in almost. So we got to keep moving.
Oh no.
Let's talk about Magic for just a hot second. Really
Magic.
quick. The newest set, the joke set that we talked about a few weeks ago, Unstable, came out
Unstable.
on Friday, and buzz around Reddit, the internet, and my store even is that this is a fucking good set. Like, this is one of the best draft formats that there's been in a while because Standard's been so hit or miss.
People are saying it's the best unset to draft just because of the the better draft design that
Yeah.
Wizards has now compared to the older sets.
And it wasn't so much about dumb, goofy bullshit. There's a lot more funny stuff, or just like
These are all
rolling
like
dice
real
and
game
things.
mechanics that are just a little bit too off the wall to
There's not
do
like,
in Magic right now.
for example, Tyler, there was a card in one of the earlier unsets called it was a card that had a thing called Denim Walk, where it could be attack and was had protection from target player if they were wearing pants. So people would literally
That's
take
amazing.
their pants off to not be
To not have unblockable creatures.
Yeah, but it's like there's no more of that bullshit. There's like people using their fingers on like 2 fingers. You know how like you walk your fingers on a table. That like there's a card that makes you do that for tokens. There's cards where you high five people or you ask people if they like squirrels or you pull a friend in to play a game with you, to like you split your
Like you split your deck in half, and now you're two of you are playing against one opponent.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
It's a lot more gamey stuff. That's a lot more cool. And actually, when I was there at the store, I didn't draft. I didn't really feel like it because it seems very complicated, like a lot to keep track of. But I just wanted to play Commander on Saturday, and they had 2 packs. So I actually opened 2 packs of Unstable, and I got some cool cards, but I got 2 foil tokens, and I got my 2 basics, and they are very pretty. I got an island and a forest, and they are both in a deck already. And now they make me want to buy the $45 foils of those basics someday. No, but seeing the lands up close, they look. Freeman, I'll show you when we come home. I'll show everybody, but I know you'll actually maybe want some.
Oh, I'll definitely appreciate them.
But and the tokens, I really want. I bought a vampire token, a Thopter token that was foiled. They look really nice. I know there's people on the subreddit like complaining about how like apparently the bottom, like the little colored out section where the text is, or where there's just kind of a border, it's asymmetrical, which is shitty. I don't know why Wizards would do that. And apparently the corners are actually cut kind of shittily on a lot of these, but they look really nice up close. So I think I'll be able to get over that, even if other people can't. But yeah, they're really pretty. And if I go on Saturday and there's more tokens, like I really want the Angel token. It's
they're all really good.
Her name is Magali Villeneuve. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. She's this French artist for Magic, and she just came in a few years ago, and she's already doing amazing stuff. Like Freeman, she did both Narsets. She did Chandra Torts of Defiance. She did the Angel token I love. She did that Soldier token from Modern Masters that we both thought
the red one?
sick. Yeah.
I love that one.
Like she does, and actually the super cool thing was today she posted a picture of like 15 of her characters in one long string, and she did like Leovold and all this cool stuff, and I actually retweeted it and said this is one of my favorite Magic artists, and she actually responded with a heart. So I was like, oh my god, she saw my tweet about how cool her art is.
That's nifty.
Yeah, the set seems to be doing really well, and Mark Rosewater, because this is his baby that he's apparently been working on for like 6+ years. He actually said, like, this, almost everything I have heard and seen on the internet is positive. Things seem to be going really well, selling well, and I wouldn't be surprised if we had an Unforced someday. Not for years, like 4 or 5 years, but
it means it'll probably happen. Not
basically
soon, but it will.
Yeah, this couldn't have gone better for getting another set like this to exist. And honestly, I wouldn't want a set like this more than every 4 or 5 years. They have to come up with something fresh. Like it's jokes, it's funny, it's cool, and it's different, and you don't get that all the time. It like if you do that too much, then you lose what little design space. Like, this is kind of a tangent, but Morrow has often said that there is at some point a finite amount of design in the game of Magic, and
yeah,
these sets are about pushing those boundaries and learning more about what you can do with the game, but also just doing some funny things that the game normally won't be able to do. And even that space is limited. So they don't want to drain their own well.
They don't want to exhaust it.
Yeah. Like the only card I want to run in a commander deck, Freeman, you remember the Cyborg Angel, do-it-yourself Seraph. I want to run that card in Brea. I wanted to buy a copy at the store, and I might buy a copy just to play like one game of Brea with that card.
While all this stuff is legal in Commander?
Yeah, while it's legal in Commander, because that card is totally reasonable. Like, it's worded funny, but exiling an artifact when it attacks and then gaining its abilities, that's not crazy for Black Border.
It's not.
I really want, like, it's really cool to see how they've talked about how these cards could easily be changed or are kind of helping them learn about what they can design in Magic. But anyway, so it's
that
good.
stuff is pretty fun though. Like, that's a different way to get even people who aren't even like used to playing. Like, it could be a funny way to get into it.
Playing a board game that happens to use the rules of Magic the Gathering.
Not to spoil anything, but I was going to talk to Freeman about it anyway. Like, I was seriously thinking about trying to get a box for us to draft when me and Val come home for Christmas.
I had a feeling you might have.
I was thinking about it, and I honestly forgot about it until we were talking about it because I saw it, and I was like, the lands are really pretty, and we could all get some cool tokens, and I genuinely think if we're all playing at the same pace, I think we could have a lot of fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to look into it and grab a box, and then Freeman will have to pay me to rip any of those basics out of my hands because... Dude,
Worth
those,
it, 100%.
Those foil basics, no joke, are like $40 on TCG Player each. That's Tyler, even from a
rare.
set that is a supplemental product like Conspiracy or something, not a standard set. Even those foil basics that are rare, or like the promos that come out, are usually only like $5 for a foil basic land, which everyone needs in every single deck. These are going for $40 for the foil and $2.50 for a non-foil. Basic lands are usually just given away at a draft, and these are worth $2.50
Or if you want like
each.
specific arts, they're like maybe 25 cents on most sites.
Yeah, well, usually
So
if you want to
it's
buy
money.
something, yeah, it's insane. Like you're basically like when you open a pack of like I paid $8 for my 2 packs of Unstable. I basically, each pack, I earned half my money just off the one basic in the pack. Like, it's those and the tokens, and then some cool cards that are the money in this set. Like, Freeman, can you imagine how many people want to buy a rules lawyer just to have?
Oh my god, fucking hard.
Anyway, final story before the Freeman area. The hazard.
Sort of the Freeman area, because I'm throwing this one on here, but I was watching a bunch of trailers with my friends, and I saw this one had come out like 2 days ago. Ready Player One launched its first trailer like 2-3 days before we recorded this. And this is one of those books where I bought it and then proceeded to not read it for years. To the point where there's now a movie coming out for it, and I didn't realize Steven Spielberg was working on it.
Yeah.
But the trailer came out, and I don't know. I like it. I feel like I'm not gonna hate this movie, but the trailer looked really cool. There were a ton of character references in it, like Tracer from Overwatch was in one scene. The Iron Giant was in the closing shot.
Wait, Tracer? Wait, is this a new?
RX,
so this is
the
a new
RX-78, the
trailer.
original Gundam showed up. Yeah, this is brand new.
Shit.
Oh, because I've seen one trailer in theaters for like months now.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? I haven't.
Yeah. I've literally there's like he talks to like, oh, I live in the stacks, and I want to, I'm in the Oasis. This is where people go, and then like they show the Iron Giant in one scene.
Huh.
Was it the very last shot?
No, it was like in the middle of it, and like they play Tom Sawyer.
I don't know. Official trailer one says 2 days ago on YouTube.
What the fuck? They've been showing this trailer for months.
They have one from Comic-Con 4 months ago.
That might have been it. Like it's a long trailer they were showing in theaters. I even tell you, was it Leslie and I went to go see Justice League, and they played that same trailer, not the one that you're talking about.
Oh, it's slightly different. A lot of the shots are the same, but there's way more text on screen in the original trailer, whereas the new one has more like footage. Yeah, okay, I see the one you're talking about. Iron Giant's in the middle.
Yeah.
Wait, is that Deadpool? Yeah, Deadpool's in there too.
So
this is just random character references.
So
great.
I never read this, but 2 of the guys who do a podcast, have I shown you guys a video from Smarter Every Day before?
Yeah.
No.
Or regardless, I already follow them on YouTube. So.
He's an amazing channel, Tyler. He like actually is this amazing guy who, and I use that word totally unironically. He's amazing. I have a poster of his on the wall because, not of him, but one of his quote from. Anyway, he does science stuff all the time, and he like puts months into some of these videos. And him and this other guy, this buddy of his, they do a podcast together, and they both read the book and talked about it chapter by chapter in one of their podcasts. So I know some about it, but it sounds like a cool premise. But I don't know, Freeman, you didn't read it, and
I don't know how it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be a good adaptation, but I don't know. It looks cool. This feels like the answer to the Sword Art Online movie that everyone's been asking for.
Oh Jesus!
But I was trying to find a way to tie in mentioning the
Oh,
Gundam as the last part of this
Sorry,
because
Freeman.
Gundams are 100% weeb shit.
Speaking of Gundams,
Speaking of Gundam, speaking of weeb shit.
Oh shit!
Guess what should be showing up pretty soon?
Oh god!
So
My-
all right, hold
my
on. So I got my
order.
non-limited edition version of what you're talking about in the mail.
Oh, I almost forgot. Arriving
Endless Waltz
December
just came in the other day.
19th. Next
Gundam Wing.
Tuesday.
Are you gonna force Dal to watch all of Gundam Wing with you?
Fuck yes.
All right, so
Anyway,
into
sorry.
the new announcements. We talked about it on the last podcast that they had, was it Namco Bandai had bought the website name MHAOJ, which were like, oh, My Hero Academia, and then something, and they announced it's
yeah.
My Hero Academia One's Justice.
Did
They
we
announced
really
it's
not-
releasing.
The name wasn't announced when we did our podcast 2 weeks
No,
ago?
they just knew the website and then got
Right.
announced like the day after we
Sorry.
recorded.
Yeah.
It's coming for PS4 and Switch,
Fuck.
and they showed. Look,
Nope,
in
keep
Japan-
Going. Keep going. Keep
All right.
going.
so they showed off like some of the in-game artwork for how at least Deku's going to look, and based on what I've seen, this is just going to be like a reskin of the last like Naruto fighting game, where it's just this
Sure looks like it.
cel-shaded 3D anime battle arena kind of game, which isn't bad. I personally like that version of these anime fighting games, and it really just depends on how well they're able to use every character's ability. But we know literally nothing about it. We're probably gonna get more announcements.
We know that Deku
Probably
and
at Jump
what's his
Fiesta.
face, the villain, are characters that you can play.
What, Shiragaki, the guy's a little too handsy.
Fucking
Handsy.
man, dude! If
But-
they wanted to create a creepy design, which they did, they succeeded, which they did.
I
That guy
wish-
is creepy AF.
I wish everyone could read the comics because he's even creepier in the comics. Like the
You mean the
author-
manga?
manga.
How
The
dare
author
you, sir.
goes and he puts so much like line detail in this guy's face to make him just look creepy as shit every single time he's in a panel. I wish they did that well in the animated version. But speaking of stuff that's weird in animated version, there was an announcement for a Batman Ninja anime.
Yeah.
What the actual fuck is going on here?
Did you guys watch the trailer?
It's weird. Yeah, we
I
all watched
did.
it. I think. Remember?
So, oh yeah, we did. So you know what?
Or I
sucks?
sent it to you guys.
You-
Yeah,
that's right. You know what sucks though? That I found out listening to another podcast.
What?
It's fucking not just Batman in Samurai.
It's everyone. You got like
time
Shogun
travel.
Robin.
It's time travel. They
So it's
start
like
out
just-
in Gotham and then they leave.
Yeah.
So you're telling me it's Samurai Jack?
That
No, there's
fucking-
the Joker in there too and everything.
I don't know what to say about
That's.
this.
I mean, it's.
It looks
fine.
weird. Are you sure?
What that they?
Are you sure this
That-
is okay?
I mean, what that they time travel?
No,
just
this
all
exists.
of it. That this
Oh.
is happening.
I mean, it's weird. It's weird. Not gonna lie, it's fucking like Batman. Like, doesn't he have like a horse-drawn carriage and shit? It's
Sort
like-
of.
It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, it's a
Fucking-
little weird.
Come on.
Yeah. On the other stuff that's weird, this one I knew almost nothing about until one of my friends who was a big fan of it mentioned it. But famous old anime movie Alita Battle Angel was getting a live action adaptation.
Oh, so that was a thing.
Which no one was really happy to hear about, especially when they heard that a non-Asian actress was playing the lead role.
Oh my god.
But then it finally came to light why. They picked an actress that would look exactly like the character if they put a filter over her eyes to make her eyes look fucking huge.
I saw a picture of
To the
this.
point where she actually looks like, if you just traced over her face, she looks like the character from the manga.
Have you seen this?
Oh, what, the trailer? I
No,
see the
just
trailer.
screenshot. Oh, you saw the
Just a
trailer?
screenshot.
No, I haven't seen the
thing
screenshot.
is,
Please
fans-
just go find a picture of this girl.
Fans are so
Alright.
conflicted because the movie trailer was like shot for shot panels from the manga. Like, this is as close as you can get to literally just like
Oh yeah, her eyes like
tracing
what the
over
fuck
the
is
live
with
action
that
movie, and you
anyway?
just have literally the same manga it was adapted from. Like, this is weird, and everyone doesn't know how to feel about this right now.
I thought that shit looked really awkward. I was like,
It
why
looks
is this a
retarded.
thing?
Looks awful.
So I'm glad I'm not the only one.
It's like they took that one Snapchat filter and they're just like, let's roll with this. It's like a movie.
But let's go from one shitty manga adaptation.
Oh my fucking god! I can't believe I heard this one.
Oh
so
man.
it was I don't know if the game ever came out in the US, but they had this Detective Pikachu game on DS where this Pikachu is like wearing like the Sherlock Holmes hat and he's talking with you and you're solving like Pokemon mysteries.
Talking with
Whatever.
you right there.
Looked
That's
awful.
the problem.
So they're like,
What
all right,
is
let's
this?
make a live action version of the Detective Pikachu game. But they're like, no, let's let the US studios handle the live action Detective Pikachu movie, which gave this studio free reign to say, who do we want to voice a talking Pikachu? Now,
Oh,
everyone in the
God.
world wanted Danny DeVito to voice
Well, yeah,
Detective
of
Pikachu.
course.
But Ryan Reynolds is now Detective Pikachu. Deadpool is Pikachu.
Fantastic.
What is going on?
That's legitness.
I don't know how to feel about this.
It's legitness.
I'm not. I don't.
I don't feel
What?
okay.
How did this even happen?
Why is Pikachu Van Wilder?
Why is Pikachu Van Wilder?
I can't do it.
This is.
It's
spicy
weird. It's really weird.
And then to add on more weirdness to this whole Pokemon movie thing, is they've basically announced that every Pokemon movie going forward is going to be handled by a different animation studio. So for anyone who's watched the most recent arc of Pokemon, they decided to do away with the old classic style of Ash Ketchum and draw him like literally an American cartoon character. Like lines aren't really defined. Everything's just very kind of blobby looking. It looks awful. So Studio Wit, who is working on current anime masterpiece, The Ancient Magus Bride, but everyone may know them from a little show called Attack on Titan, is doing the next Pokemon movie. And they're like, fuck it, let's redesign Ash again. Now he looks like he's straight out of Sailor Moon. So,
oh God.
like, everyone's got huge ass eyes. I don't know. They are ruining the franchise. I'm still playing Sun and Moon. This is just, I'm not happy with what's going on.
Are you gonna watch it? Or are you gonna watch it though?
The live action one?
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay money to see it in theaters. I will probably watch it at some point. But I don't know. It's also very blatantly a kids movie. So I don't know if I'll really enjoy it.
Womp womp.
But in terms of other slightly, I don't know if I'll call it depressing news. This is just kind of shitty news. Funimation announced their plans for streaming the dub of Dragon Ball Super. Up until now, they haven't been able to stream it because of an exclusive contract with Adult Swim to let them show it and then hold it on to and for an undisclosed amount of time. I don't know if you could or couldn't watch on AdultSwim.com, but their play's been broken for months now. The point is, Funimation released the first 39 episodes dubbed all in one batch. The week the 40th came out, but it's kind of setting this precedence that it's going to be like this kind of batch size every time.
So
I'm going to have to wait another 40 episodes for the next 40.
I randomly wanted to see if the dub was available on Crunchyroll, and they had an article in their news section about how Funimation was going to release this like last week.
Yeah, I don't know if Funimation has it or if it's exclusively through VRV.
Well, no, I just mean that not Crunchyroll has it, which sucks.
Oh, yeah, no. It's unfortunate.
Dude, fucking VRV. Come on. What is this VRV shit? It
They
came out
are
of
forcing
nowhere.
they're forcing all these individual fans of shit. People who had Crunchyroll, Funimation, people who had Geek and Sundry to just be like, here, you're using this new streaming service. But they
Or
don't
it's
want to cancel the original one. So you have like 50 streaming services who are all advertising their parent service. But the parent service doesn't do anything better than the children's services other than just have everyone's content.
Well, it also just has a few random bits. Like I remember we had this conversation when I was going to sign up for Crunchyroll. It was $10 a month for Crunchyroll or $15 for VRV, which included like 50,000 other things I don't care about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'll give Crunchyroll all the $10. I want to.
It's like the internet turning into cable companies at this point.
God.
Well, I mean, especially now that Disney's going to buy Fox and then start their own fucking thing, and then net neutrality is going to die.
No.
Boom.
Net
roasted.
neutrality.
Boom. Shots.
That's right. We'll get to talk about the outcome next week. But in terms of less news that I'm mad about in the anime community, they announced the release date for the show I'm looking forward for, Violet Evergarden. It's going to premiere January 10th. This show is getting a lot of notoriety because the studio did not give a shit about their animation budget and went absurdly over budget on it. And they didn't care because they've been saving for years. Like they had one scene where a character is writing on a typewriter and it's just shooting off other typewriter keys off into other parts of the frame. They said it took them 3 months to animate this 10-second bit because they went really overboard on how nice it needed to look. But because of that, every other scene involving a typewriter for the rest of the series is now done in CG to save money. because of how much they blew on the
Damn.
opening
Oh
sequence.
my god, Freeman, is there a trailer or video of this somewhere that we can watch
Yes,
during the break?
I'll find it during the break. But
Hell
it's
yeah, dude.
honestly pretty impressive. I'm excited for it.
Freeman, what's this little bit at the end here? You trying to imply that other people are watching anime now or some shit?
What did we
thought
watch?
I don't know. Did you want to talk about Food Wars? I don't
Val
know.
and I fucking watched all of Food Wars since goddamn last time. Well, weren't we? We had started Food Wars last time, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So we finished all of Food Wars that's out so far, and we watched last week's episode. So I don't even know if Freeman did. Oh, we might watch the new one. No, doesn't it? Come
I
out at
didn't.
midnight?
I saw last week's. I didn't see the one that came out literally today.
We didn't either. We're gonna watch it after this, probably.
But oh man, season
Dude,
3 is fucking
Dude,
great.
this season is pretty solid. These Shokugekis are popping off left and right.
We've noticed the food gasms have like they're so short or almost
Dude,
not there anymore.
okay,
This is 100%
okay,
about just the
but-
food battles.
But Freeman, last episode, all
The
three
fucking
judges
laser
were,
beam.
No. All three. That was hilarious. All three judges were male, so each round they had to give a female character a random bite just so that they could have the.
They have to jump through hoops, be like, "Oh look, I also got to play," and they just pass it to the first female character they can find to make the sequence happen.
Tyler, you remember from what Freeman showed us at the camping trip, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
The gotcha pork roast.
once he joins the actual school, there's official cooking battles called Shokugeki, where there's 3 judges. And
I've
usually-
heard of this part. Yeah.
Usually they have at least one female judge who they can almost show naked. But for this last episode, they didn't have any female judges. But there was the good guy and the bad guy, and the bad guy offered his friend, who's this little girl with a doll. Although she's not actually a little girl, but they draw her as a little girl.
She's a senior in high school. She's 18. It's a-okay.
But she still is like shorter than everyone and clutches a big purple bear. He's
Mhm.
like, "Oh, here, you try my meal," and then the good guy's like, his friend is like, "Oh, I stole some. Here, random girl character in the team, have some food too."
Oh God.
Just so they could have them explode.
Jesus.
This show is 100% worth it. I can't recommend it
This
more.
show is okay. Honestly, a lot of the foodgasm stuff is pretty dumb. And,
It
like,
starts
some of
off
it's
really strong at the
some
beginning,
of
but
it's
they've
way too strong. Like
it's almost gone at this point. Like there hasn't been that much in this season.
The way it goes is like season 1 is just all girls with their clothes exploding, and then season 2 has this awesome old jacked guy whose shirt literally explodes off of him when he enjoys food. Like, and,
Oh.
no, but Tyler,
Like
the
it's played
best
for
part-
gags in the second season.
best part is that everyone else does these things like in their own head, so it's like an image. No, this guy's shirt for everyone to see. They call him going bare-chested, where his shirt literally just explodes off of him when he
Jeez.
enjoys.
Like the audience will base their reactions to the food based on how like did his shirt fly off? How fast did it fly off?
My God,
Oh my
he's
God.
already bare-chested.
Jesus.
It's really fun. The show is really good. I'm really enjoying it, and I can't believe how much of this season is left. There's going to be like into next February, right, Freeman?
Yes, it still has another 12-ish episodes to go, so we still got more. And then trying to
But
remember
yeah,
if I
other than that,
watched-
Val and I switched over to The Crown, so we're not really watching anime until next week.
Oh, I'm trying to pull up. I don't know if I talked about it last week. When did I finish watching this stupid show? The
Tyler, did you watch any
25th,
anime
wasn't
while
it?
Freeman's thinking?
No, I haven't
No,
watched.
I talked about it last time.
I've barely watched any shows. What was it? What did I? No, I'm trying to watch Runaways now, but that's about it. Haven't been watching any animes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm still watching Fate Apocrypha, and I'm starting to understand where everyone's complaints are. It's like a battle royale anime, but no one has actually gotten fleshed out yet, even though characters are dying left and right. But I haven't seen yet. Episode 22 is apparently getting a lot of notoriety because of how high quality the fight scene was. Like they hyped it up for 2 weeks, it aired, and apparently it met the expectations. So I'm excited to get into the finale of this show. It'll probably be up on Netflix in like 4 weeks.
Woo.
So, yeah.
All right. And with
I
that,
think that's it for the weeb shit.
we're
Yep.
going to take our break, and then we're going to come back with Freeman. You want to explain your topic?
Can live action adaptations work, and how?
Quick answer, no. Okay, bye everybody.
No. Yeah.
Damn.
And we're back. The answer's still no.
The answer's still no.
No, but
So
to buy time, pad the episode. We watched the Venom. Tyler and I watched the Venom trailer and the crazy anime opening for Violet Evergarden on the break.
Yeah.
Man, Venom sure looks like a liquor. Those things look like liquors. I guess it's like it seems like the story is going to be he is Venom, but they make the parasite or the symbiote into these liquors at a prison or some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
But the funniest thing for me, Tyler, I think we both caught it, was on the car dash. It looked like they just photoshopped a name Anne over it.
Yeah, and
It looked like shit.
yeah, it didn't look. Oh no, this doesn't look too promising.
No.
the problem is, like, if you don't already know everything there is about Venom, this movie didn't tell you like why you should
never
watch it.
I actually praised the trailer for not showing Venom. If
Well,
assuming the
like, it also
liquors
didn't
aren't
show me
Venom,
anything the movie's about.
Yeah, it's literally like, hey, I'm Tom Hardy. I seem to be having a weird
Phone call.
thing going on.
He's like sick. He's like something's going on with
Yeah,
him.
he's like something's wrong with him, and then there's prisoners and black shit, and then liquors, and it's over.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's showing too much and not enough at the same time, which is
Yeah.
hilarious. Like it's not like the Star Wars trailers that show way too fucking much and really hurt my dreams of going to see fucking. I'm gonna have to go see Last Jedi soon.
Thankfully, I've forgotten about it,
Um,
except for that
But,
screaming hamster thing.
don't forget, all of us, we're going to see Disaster Artist when Val and I are home. We have to.
Oh,
Send me
real quick, because you mentioned that. I finally saw Tommy Wiseau's other big movie project, The House That Bleeds on Alex.
Oh Jesus!
Oh my god, you guys! If you guys haven't seen this, watch. It's the dumbest thing I've seen since
No.
The Room.
No, Freeman. You know what's the dumbest thing you've ever seen? A top secret movie that I have to show you guys while we're home.
I
Oh,
can't confirm or
God.
deny that statement because I don't know what movie this is yet.
I was linked by a completely unrelated video to the most hilariously shitty thing since The Room. It's like Room level, absolutely
Oh,
hysterical
God.
for me.
I don't know, man.
we're-
The House That
But
Bleeds on Alex
how-
literally stars Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, you're so not ready
Oh no.
for this fucking. I have it open again so that I can
Oh
save
my
it before.
God.
No. I have it so I can save it so I can remember to show it to you guys. It's gonna be. We're gonna have a great night where we're gonna go see Disaster Artist, come back to my house, and then we're all gonna watch this other movie together. It's only an hour, and it's great. Anyway, I didn't watch any more than a few seconds of it, but it's fantastic.
Jeez.
All right.
But back to the topic.
Anyway, yes.
Like how like
Can
how
live action
could
work and how? Because let's be real here, it currently doesn't.
It never has.
It never has.
Let's ask that question. Has it ever been good or come close? Was Ghost in the Shell close?
I still haven't seen it yet.
all right, so I mean I
you-
could
you
chime
saw it,
in on
right?
this. It kind of pissed me off.
Okay.
Like the story pissed me off, right?
Okay.
But as far as the aesthetic goes and like kind of conveying what the anime was, I feel like it did as good of a job as it could have, given like the really fucked up, like, you know, whatever it is. But I think out of all the live action adaptations that I have seen, I think that by far does the best job, in my opinion. Because I feel like they actually did put a lot of work into trying to make that aesthetic work and trying to fit in all of those nuances and tropes from not just one of the stories, but like all the stories from across all of the Ghost in the Shell without making it really dumb.
So is the major
Like Luigi Mario and Mario Mario.
So is the biggest problem the fact that they're trying to condense a bunch of shows down into one movie because they never succeed, so they never have a second movie guaranteed, so they always have to risk it all, and they always have to go way too fast, and they has literally no one ever given these a chance? Is that why they fail?
I don't know about that. I feel like pacing. I think like what you said, like what you
Pacing is
mentioned,
always a huge issue. That
it
a lot
is.
of the original works are written at a very specific pacing to fit whatever medium they're in, whether it be these novels that shouldn't take you only an hour and a half to get through in a movie, or if it's something like a manga where it's supposed to be a weekly chapter release where it doesn't have a set stop point where like this is where you can fit a movie. Like
I mean,
even
that's what I mean in that like the movie only has the hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, whereas the manga and show both have hours worth.
yeah, that's the
Right.
problem, that you're trying to make something into this like set story length where if you wanted to tell the complete story, you're not gonna have all the details, and if you want to have all the details, you're not gonna tell a whole story.
Can
So
I just
it's just
say that you reminded me about the Full Metal Alchemist live action?
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm trying to drink to forget about it, even though
that
I haven't seen it yet.
that
But
like how is that gonna work?
so
Like how
so
is it gonna
that's
function?
so it's gonna be an original plot line.
Is it really?
It's probably going to be. There's no way they can get close to anything meaningful done
Dude, I feel like they've
in a
talked
regular
about the
feature length film.
homunculus in the
Oh
trailer.
yeah, they have. Just because there's homunculus doesn't mean it's not anime original. Like I'm gonna describe something here real quick. Attack on Titan got a live action movie, except all the characters were there and all the Titans were there, except all the characters did completely different shit than the anime. The origin of the Titans was different. Levi was like the colossal Titan the whole time, or some shit. Like
So here's
they,
the
So-
question.
but they got a sequel
Oh my god.
to finish their bullshit.
So here's a question then. Is it better to try to adapt the show into a movie and say going forward, like, no, we're going to have multiple parts, but try to recreate it just as a movie? Or do you try to make your own story version and is it just that every single one of those has sucked?
That's the
I
thing.
th- yeah.
Fans get so mad if you don't stick to the source material. And the truth of the matter is, if you want a good movie, you absolutely cannot do a perfect adaptation.
Yeah.
You have to change something about it to make it fit the medium you're working with.
I
And
mean,
this is
this is a bad example because the show is very different, but like the Star Trek movies never try to be a accumulation of like storylines from the show. I know they're all kind of episodic and it's just a giant episode, but still they're not trying to be just a big like here's 5 episodes that we cram together.
well, I mean, this
Yeah.
kind of happens whenever you have like the feature length film of a show. Like
Yeah.
like even staying within the realm of animation, like if you go and you watch like an old episode of Rugrats is a 10-minute
Ugh.
episode. They set up a tiny thing, they get in trouble, they resolve it in 10 minutes. Then they have the Rugrats movies, which are an hour and a half.
Well,
And
that's
it
what I
always
mean with Star Trek.
Yeah, it's the same with Star Trek, where they have to expand on an idea that normally doesn't have to extend past your typical standard television show length. And when you do that, it kind of changes what it is. Like, yeah, the show they'll be similar, but it doesn't have the same feel. And it's even more so when you change mediums completely, and that's where this jarring difference shows up.
Well, also, I think what the deal is like there's something about the animation, right? Like the art style like works in conjunction with the story, right? To form this mood or, this idea of like how it would normally look. And to try to convey that idea in a live action sense, I feel like is very difficult. Right? And like that too is very jarring.
It's honestly on a per series basis. Some are more, they have a higher affinity for being rendered in live action. Like I'll take like we talked about it for a couple weeks. The Death Note movie.
Oh,
Death Note is
boy.
the prime example of a series that, when actually rendered in live action, is not so jarring that I want to put the movie down. It was close enough to real life that you could have done it, with just Ryukin CG like they did, and have everything else live action and be a normal movie, and it made sense. But the problem with that movie was the acting and the writing and the direction and all the other things that come from it. But the thing is, in terms of
Great.
adapting something to a live action, that kind of thing fit that medium well. Whereas you go for Full Metal Alchemist, where people are turning roads into fucking brick walls and turning their arms into metal spikes. It's when you get further away from realism, it gets more jarring to adapt.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's it's taking anime as a medium where you can do whatever the fuck you want, or just to tell a story, and it could have almost been anything else.
But that's the thing. Like for a lot of these, like I'm not even talking just anime, but even like from books, a lot of these, in order to get them right, you have to have a set where it's like a guy in a, you know, capture suit, and 99% of the stuff on screen is CG anyway. So the question boils down to, why wasn't it just an animated film?
Because we gotta be interesting.
Because
and
money.
edgy.
Because cartoons are for kids.
Cartoons are
Hell
for
yeah.
kids. I really don't know where the idea from live action comes from, though.
Can
I really
just say,
don't.
as a side note, the thought of Death Note being only for kids.
Death Note.
Is it like instead of a Death
Black
Note,
Lagoon.
is it like Death
Oh
Note
my
is
God.
actually a candy book? Like it's
They
like
could totally do a
Candygram?
Black Lagoon movie.
They totally could.
They could.
Is
That one's
No, I'm thinking of Black Clover. Whoops.
no,
No.
don't. I don't want to see anything. I don't even want to see the anime for that
shit.
show.
Yo, Black Lagoon could totally be like, it's your typical like Western, well, not
Shoot 'em up
Western, but like
movie.
it's like a shoot 'em up movie. Like it's just a purely action movie that could totally be a live adaptation.
Like as long as you just cast the lead role to act like they do in the original material, you could do literally any plot you want and it'd be fine.
Right. I think that'd be kind of cool to see, especially with like animes like that, where it's like you don't have to pay too much attention to like where, like what the source material is too much, because like it's not even like what about like where these people come from or how they even meet up. It's more of like the shenanigans that they get into.
Yeah. This is kind of why, like, despite all the negative live action adaptation we've seen, I have actually really high hopes for the Cowboy Bebop adaptation. Because Bebop, the plot really doesn't matter. It's 100% about the
Yeah.
atmosphere and the tone. And can you get it to just not feel cheesy in the slightest and feel like actually cool and smooth? Like, if they can get a show where you got some guy who looks like Spike Spiegel just acting not like a fucking idiot on screen.
I mean,
I will
Benedict
enjoy that.
Cumberbatch.
Do
Have you
think-
seen that cosplay?
No, did he do? Oh, hold
All
on.
right, time to post it to the Discord.
Mhm.
Holy hell! Yeah, just just Google it. You'll be able to
I'm
find
already
it.
halfway there.
I believe it.
Man. So
You're not
Benedict-
ready for how like
Benedict Spike Spiegel. There it is.
I wasn't ready for this.
I'm not like, I don't think he'd make a good Spike Spiegel, but man, he pulls off the look.
It was a
oh my God.
Photoshop though. That stinks.
Oh, I thought he actually
Wait,
did it.
well,
Damn.
Bradley- Wait, I guess he
I
is.
thought he did.
No,
Yeah.
the website I'm on says there's an update where it says that he was actually photoshopped.
Oh damn. Well, I mean, it still kind of looks
It looks
alright
close
though.
as. Oh my god.
My God.
Been floating around on Tumblr for 3 issues, and this was posted back in 2014. So this is like 6 years old, Tyler.
Yeah, it's old as hell.
But that's
Oh
pretty
my God.
legit. That's a really, really good Photoshop, though. Like, it actually totally looks real. That's
But-
hilarious.
But yeah, like that's one of those series where I can see it working. And Tim, you mentioned it briefly, and we kind of veered away from the topic of why do they even dabble with live action. And it's less about taking a series and saying let's make a live action. It's more about these studios who are just like, we need something to make a movie about.
Let's not
Ooh,
make
this looks
original.
successful.
I'd
Yeah,
rather
it's-
bank on an anime that did well and kill it than fucking.
Let's just work
Try
off the
a new
established
idea.
popularity. Let's make a sequel that isn't a sequel, but have it just as well
You know what?
received.
You know what movie? This isn't a live action or anything, but you know what movie I feel like should really have shaken things up with in that regard this year?
What?
Get Out. Everyone seems to still be raving about that movie.
Cause it's a good movie.
Good
I'm
movie.
I'm not saying it's not. I haven't seen it.
It's a
but
good movie.
I'm just saying that came out of nowhere. Also, you know what? While we're on the topic of horror movies, can I just say fuck horror movies? Like in general, they
Whoa,
ruin YouTube.
Whoa.
They ruin YouTube.
Wait, what?
I have been getting this new
You
Insidious
just get horror movie
coming out.
trailers all the time.
Dude,
It's like
I have been every trailer for the last like 3 days has been Insidious, Get Out, Insidious, The Last Key. That's what it's fucking called. Every fucking 5 seconds, it's this Insidious trailer, and you can't skip it. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't care about this fucking movie at all.
So it's not fuck horror movies. It's just fuck Insidious.
No, they all do it. They all spam YouTube for like a few weeks before they come out. And it's
I don't know, man. The only
shut
thing
up.
with
You're not Final
that's-
Fantasy the mobile game. You don't get to run my YouTube.
damn, you're not Final Fantasy the mobile game. That went on for too long.
That was a little excessive. Like, I used to listen to the soundtrack to Final 15 a lot, and it's just been ruined for me because of those stupid commercials.
Dude, they're so. It's like they're the default thing now. When it stops being some dumb bullshit like horror movie or whatever. Yeah, it's good. That's a good shot, Freeman. Like the default thing that it goes to when it can't think of anything else is just Final Fantasy 15 mobile game. It's so prevalent. It's hysterical. It's like it ebbs and flows. Like in a week when this fucking Insidious movie's out and they stop having ads for it, it's gonna be back to Final.
Like,
back to that. We're under
not-
attack.
We're not promoting anything else. Let's give them the good old one.
Oh,
Oh,
my
God.
god. Or the live action one where there's this just random hot woman in dress surrounded by guys on phones as guys in armor run around a hallway. Oh my fucking god.
Fairly
Right.
accurate representation of the Final Fantasy series.
Oh, what's your guys' least favorite live action adaptation?
I'm gonna be brutally honest. I haven't seen enough.
Last Airbender,
Oh well, yeah.
with
Yeah.
hands down. Like
Hands down.
as someone who's seen Dragon Ball Evolution twice, the Last Airbender was definitely
Holy
the worst.
shit!
Hold on. I just thought of a great comparison. Why do manga and anime live action adaptations not work? And what are we in the age of right now that always seems to work, at least for Marvel?
Comic book.
Comics. They're just an adaptation
Yeah.
of a similar thing, or is it because there's
No,
not that
you're
in
right.
between
So-
medium where there's already an animated version?
Hold on, so I've got to ask you guys this: how different have the Marvel movies been from
Can't
the
ask
comic
me.
books that they're pulling from?
Tyler's
Do they
the comic
try
reader.
like how do they try to be accurate? Or do they just say fuck it, our universe is just different, and people accept that about it?
No, they actually the way they're doing it is like pretty good, except for how the Infinity Stones are acquired. The way that's like one of the only ways, but like when it comes down to how Civil War started, right? Like how Tony Stark proposes
was a massive
like the
piece
whole
of idiot.
yeah, like he proposes that in the comics, and he makes Spider-Man the poster boy of the whole superhero initiative act.
Couldn't
Yeah.
do
Like
that
that-
at the time.
Yeah, that's what that was literally in the comics. But the way they present it, like they tweak it a little bit, right? Because like by the time they introduced Spider-Man in there, right, like in Civil War, like he had already been established
Mhm.
as a hero.
Yeah.
He wasn't very new and fresh faced like he is in the movies. And like Civil War, and like by the time, and that was the start, like that was like Civil War starting to happen. So like they rearranged things, but like basically how shit kind of happened is similar. Like, well, everybody fighting. Now I'm mixing myself up.
All right,
Civil
hold on.
War started for something else. Like they're including all the stuff, but they're like changing it slightly.
So what you're
Okay.
saying is broad strokes is pretty close, but there's definitely lots of details that are changing.
yes.
A lot of these one-off adaptations, there's a lot more
Yeah.
scrutiny over any kind of differences. But
You know why? Because fucking weebs ruin.
get out of here. The one thing I do want to bring up about Marvel though is the one criticism I do hear consistently is just that Tony Stark from the movies is so different from Tony Stark from the comics. Is that a true statement?
I don't think so. I mean, he seems a little bit more flamboyant in the movies because that's RDJ's like.
That's his
Thing.
MO.
But like I don't know, he's just as much of a snarky asshole as he is in the movie or in the comics. Like
So-
he's all about like, yo, I'm Tony Stark. I'm the fucking greatest. I'm Iron Man, motherfucker. I got money. Like
So-
everybody knows he's Iron Man from day one.
the thing is, as minuscule as the differences you just said, on any other series would get torn apart for that. But I think the reason Marvel's able to get away with it, and the reason it gets away with it for me is the fact that as a standalone thing with no connection with source material, those movies are actually good.
Oh yeah.
A lot of these live action adaptations don't stand alone as just good movies.
I honestly
And I
think
think that's a larger problem.
I honestly think a lot of it though is also there hasn't been a video version of these comics, like a film version or emotion voice acted.
No, there have been. Oh well, not of live action, but there's been cartoons.
Yeah, but like the cartoons,
like the Amazing Spider-Man.
Sure, but the cartoons we saw as kids aren't directly leading into these movies. Like the reason there's a live action Ghost in the Shell movie is because that anime is probably still popular. It's not like we got the Spider-Man movie because the cartoon was popular. No, it's because he's one of the most popular superheroes in the fucking world, for one thing. Not just with weebs. Sorry, Freeman. And
it's getting roasted.
Damn,
no, but seriously,
it's getting hot.
Like Spider-Man is a much easier thing to sell to people because people know the name Spider-Man. They don't know the name Ghost in the Shell or even Full Metal unless they know about anime. Like it's much more of a thing to get into than just I know who Spider-Man is. I know who Captain America is.
Who is Ed and Al Elric? Don't know.
I mean, but
you don't know about equivalent exchange?
You don't know about equivalent exchange?
Can we post a law called equivalent exchange law and just have everyone be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Just so everyone knows it in advance before this movie drops.
I mean, it's just like I feel like there's definitely a disconnect because, like I was saying, even if you think fondly back on the Spider-Man TV show, that you recognize that as such a different thing. Like the movie isn't trying to emulate that at all. They might make references, but they're not trying to remake that. They're trying to do their own thing. Whereas the live action adaptations are very clearly like I actually think it hurt Ghost in the Shell to get the aesthetic so good because then it makes you look at it so much closer in all its other regards too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Kinda. I don't know how I feel about that.
I think getting the aesthetic right is good, but you have to have the story to back it up. And it just makes like if they had fucked up the aesthetic, here, let me phrase it better. If they had fucked up the aesthetic, it wouldn't have hurt less that the story was messed up, but the overall package wouldn't be as disappointing. It would just be bad. But it's almost more disappointing because you can see how they cared about the aesthetic and yet fucked up the story.
No, I don't believe that. I feel with Ghost in the Shell, they knew what they were doing with the story. Like, it had the potential to be like a Ghost in the Shell story, but it like the way they did Major's background, like really like it was bullshit. And it was one of those things where like if you were a fan of the show, you knew for a fact that this was bullshit. And normally I wouldn't call whitewashing. Right? I'm like, you know what, man? Shit is what it is, but that was just so fucking blatant. It was disgusting. Like I was like, what is this? Like y'all actually felt you needed to have this white actress so bad.
Dude, no Asian actresses could keep up.
I guess not. Shit.
Look, clearly they just didn't want to use this eye enhancement technology that we've had access to.
Bring me back Lucy Liu, goddammit. She can still get it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I don't know, that part really pissed me off. I told you guys about it. I don't think I said it over the podcast. The spoilers.
Don't think
But if you
so.
said what?
No, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'll tell you guys. I did tell you.
The Ghost in the
No, we
Shell?
already spoke about this.
What?
Oh, we did. Okay.
What are we talking about?
The
Major's
actual
backstory.
backstory point that makes the whitewashing work.
Oh, yeah. I think
Yeah, we already talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah, on the podcast too.
Oh, we did talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Damn. I'm still mad about that. Everything else in that movie was fine with me. Like I was totally okay with it. Now the way they did that memory swap shit though in Blade Runner, like the new 2049, 2048.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good. Like that even threw me kind of for a loop, even though I was like, like is right, it could be like this. And I'm like, oh, it is this, but man, it still threw me for a loop. I like this. Man, I'm upset that movie didn't make a lot of money.
You have to imagine someone raised the point of, is this really going to make a lot of money?
Oh yeah, easy.
Put out a sequel to a
to.
cult classic. This one, like, look, this one's going to be a cult classic. People who love the first one love this one. The problem is, not a lot of people paid to see the first one the first time.
Nope.
And
It's like Serenity all over again, honestly. But man, this movie was expensive. They had Hans Zimmer doing the soundtrack. They brought back Harrison Ford. Had Ryan Gosling. The movie was just pretty. Yeah, they pulled out all the stops. And I thought it was a good movie. Coming from someone who didn't really like the first Blade Runner, I actually like this movie.
That's good to hear. And it sucks that the movie didn't do it. I think anyone, like, it should just be considered a miracle that there's another Blade Runner movie that exists.
Yeah.
I mean, they also got the Netflix show. Or was that a movie?
That was a movie.
Right. Not a...
On Crunchyroll.
Oh, right. I forgot it was Crunchyroll. Why did I think...
That's right. Our lead sponsor.
Yeah. Our lead sponsor. Crunchyroll, not Amazon.
Oh, God. I think Val still signed up for Strike after we did that free trial for Made in Abyss. I think she's still paying for Strike.
Oh, no.
Don't be like me and pay Amazon for their god-awful service. They started releasing episodes out of order for this one show.
Oh.
I can't do it anymore.
Dude.
Like, they delayed one by a week. They delayed episode 8 of the show by a week, and they just dropped episode 9 without putting 8 out.
Oh,
for no fucking reason.
That's rough. That's a problem.
Yeah.
How has no one called them out on that shit yet?
Because
I know you said
no one listens when weebs complain, because all we do is complain. That's why we don't get any good live action movies, because anything comes out, we complain about it.
To the truth with that shit. Come on, man. You can't put them all on blast like that.
Look, we know what we are. We know what we created.
See, this is why I don't consider myself any kind of weeb. I just like some anime, but fuck, man, do I not...
you say that now.
Dude, I'm not in nearly as deep as you.
No, I'm in a little too deep.
The only accomplishment I'll ever have over you is watching Made in Abyss before you. That's it. That's like the only claim to fame I'm ever gonna have.
Like that and Gundam Wing.
Yeah,
I think are all you've got on me.
Yeah, and then the fact that I watch Food Wars night it comes out instead of on Monday next week.
Look,
like,
I have commitments to my friends.
Look, I'm not Freeman. I'm not disparaging you. I'm literally laying out the only.
Yes,
no, I'm not offended. I'm just joking.
To his weeb friends.
Oh, the way you whispered that was fucking... Jesus.
He's right. Alright, so I think... Have we covered everything we wanted to talk about?
No, because we didn't talk about anime more.
Oh my... Wait, anime what?
You just said anime more as a joke. Alright, so we don't even need to go around the room. The general consensus... Well, actually, no.
So
do we think it can work? Is the question. Do you guys want me to go first?
Yeah.
No. I'm trying to word my answer. I'll go first since I usually make you guys go first on things. I'll say I don't want to say no only because that's very definitive. But if I also don't want to say yes because I could easily see a future. I could easily see the darkest timeline where it literally never worked. It'll probably happen someday. There needs to be some smash out big hit, but like we already had that with Dragon Ball. Like Dragon Ball was still huge over here in general when Evolution came out, and that's a giant pile of garbage.
Imagine if they did a live action like Attack on Titan in the US instead of...
I was going to say, wait, Freeman, you know they did that right?
Yeah.
That's like a long pause.
You know,
I'm going to say no. I'm genuinely going to say no.
I would say no to that. You know, I think in the broad scheme of things, I think it could work, given the right direction.
Given the right series, I think
The
there are
right,
some that just can be done right.
yeah.
I think genuinely it's a problem that every adaptation of anything has, where you're going from one full motion, fully acted out, full everything already. It's basically a remake in a different medium that almost can't compare. Like, because the same problem happens with video games. There's no good video game adaptation out there. Like, there's maybe a handful that are okay, but they never live up because you've already played the game and put so much time into it, and you've already lived through it all, that it's like seeing it crunched down into just a movie never works.
Yo, I'm waiting for Rampage to be good.
Oh, dude, shut up.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it to be good.
Didn't Jumanji come out this week?
No one has said anything about it. Did it actually come out?
I don't know if it came out this
The
week.
week before Star Wars?
Dude, Star Wars is... What are you talking about, Freeman?
Star Wars is out
came
on Thursday.
It came out.
Wait, what? Did I really fuck up the date?
I'm pretty... Am I crazy? I might... Wait, I might be tripping balls.
Yo, you're fucking with me here.
Hold on. It is this week.
Has it been out?
No, it's not. Wow, sorry.
No.
That's me fucking up. I saw... Legitimately, I saw so many headlines about reviews already. I assumed it was out.
Nah.
Not even kidding. Okay, so thank God, because I was worried Disaster Artist came out in the same weekend, and I want Disaster Artist to make a lot of money.
Okay, this shit has really confused me. It comes out on Friday. Most theaters would normally do midnight the night before, except AMC doesn't give a shit, and they have like evening showings on the day before it comes out.
They all, any theater
I did not know
with
this is the
any
way it was.
size now has like 10 p.m. showings. That's what me and Val went to for.
I'm seeing 7 p.m. showings the day before it's supposed to come
that's
out.
fucking pathetic.
Right?
Just say it's out on Thursday, you fucks. Yeah, it's seriously, like, can we just stop playing? Like, come on, just make it Friday or not at all.
No, Jumanji comes out the following. It comes
Still
out Wednesday of next
dead
week.
on arrival. Who the fuck wants to see that except for The Rock? It's literally just Rock appeal.
Yeah, I'd go see it with The Rock and Kevin Hart. And holy shit, there's a good number of people in this.
Yeah,
Are you talking about Jumanji or Rampage?
I'm talking about Jumanji.
Yo, I was thinking of seeing that movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Ty, you also wanted to see Justice League with Leslie, and you still have to do that. And then Star Wars.
I did. I saw Justice League.
Oh yeah, you did. I forgot. Fuck.
I saw Justice
Regrets
League.
or no regrets?
Regrets.
No regrets. I thought it was fun. Yeah.
What did Leslie think?
Yeah. She liked it too.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there was like some cheesy ass scenes in there, but like I still liked it.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, so I just can't comment on it. But
I can comment on how the whole internet seems to disagree with you.
That, you know what, they can. That's fine.
I'm not. That's not me trying to put down what you're
No,
saying.
I know. No,
I've
I
also-
know. I understand. Like, not everybody's feeling it.
I've also heard opinions that, like I said, this is like the third time in a row I'm mentioning it, but on the CinemaSins podcast, B-, C-, F. Clearly, there's a spread. Just tends to trend down.
very well received, it sounds.
very, what's it called? Promotes
Cult
conversation.
classic in the making.
Cult classic. Dude, I can't say anything because my dad, every time Batman vs. Superman's on TV, he'll just watch the whole thing. And I'm like, I can't fucking be in the room for this. This sucks. And he says he loves it. And I'm like, am I adopted?
Damn, am I adopted? God damn.
No.
That's rough.
God, no. But it's
Oh my
weird
God.
because usually my dad and I are like so on the same page with movies. Hell, I got most of my movie Flava Flav from him.
Oh my god.
Anyway. Are we doing weeks? Let's do weeks.
All right, let's do
Yeah.
weeks.
Or do we finish live action?
We-
We were talking about Rampage movie.
We're done.
Oh, we've said
Come on,
everything
does
needs to be
Rampage
said.
look good? Guys, come on. Rampage is going to be a great movie. It's
I never
based on a
said that.
well-storied video game.
The game that has no
Ty-
story.
I was like, shut up. Don't put words in my mouth. It's
Yeah,
going to be okay.
don't be twisting my words.
It's not going to be good. It'll be It won't be shit.
At most, yeah.
At best, it'll be a D, not an F.
Yeah, at best, on a
Dude,
good day.
Honestly, you could probably just say that because The Rock is going to be in it. Like he genuinely seems like
He's gonna
a
carry
good
the
guy.
movie.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to carry it far, but he'll carry it.
He'll carry it.
He'll carry it to like that 67 on the.
He'll
on
pick
the
it up
grade.
and put it back down.
He'll pick it up and be like, "I can't carry this party on my back. Fucking get off.
Too heavy.
My team's too heavy, man."
Oh my God.
God damn it.
I'm sure you guys have that in Overwatch too. My team's too heavy.
Seems too heavy, yo, all the time. All the time.
Actually,
All right, let's do some weeks. Tyler, go ahead.
I got a lot of Christmas parties to go to. Well, a lot as in I got 2.
It's two
And
more than me.
then, man, I don't want to go to really any of these, to be honest. I don't know, because I'm just lazy.
Oh my fucking God.
I'll be honest, I'm just
Tyler,
lazy.
it's free food.
A lot of these people I don't know. Like the one party I'm going to on Thursday, I know only 2 of the people there, and I'm like, man,
So
I ain't trying to mingle.
yo, I hate talking to strangers.
So
Yo, me too.
I got real lucky overall. I had my Christmas party on Friday, I think it was. Yeah, Friday.
Mm.
Because Val had her play, right? I went and I was alone for like 10 minutes because it was all the uppity ups and I don't give a fuck about any of them. But then one of my guys from my team showed up and then he had brought his very talkative and kind of pretty cool roommate. And then my other buddy, I've told you guys about him. His name's Cody. He's the one who I got intense with Halo with at that game night a while ago. Remember when I was
Yeah.
like shouting about going?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Mm.
And literally just the 4 of us had a table to ourselves. And it was like actually the best that party could have gone. We were literally in the corner away from everybody. Like we were just talking about video games, building computers and all this fun shit. It was great. But I could totally see the worrying about being at a party because if I hadn't had a table with them, I would have probably had a miserable time. Like the food was really good because it was a country club, but other than that, nah.
Mm.
Anyway, sorry. I
Yeah.
didn't interrupt Tyler. Christmas
No,
parties.
it's fine. No, I'm
Off
just
the-
kidding.
Off the rails Christmas parties.
What's it called? And then I gotta go pick up Leslie from her Christmas party on Saturday from work.
To go to your Christmas party.
No, I don't have one on Saturday. I got
Oh.
one on Thursday. I got one on Sunday, and then I left Saturday open so I can DD for her.
Oh, it's one of those
Yeah.
Christmas parties.
It's one of those Christmas
Not like an
parties.
office
Yeah.
Christmas party.
So
I'm not going though. She is going.
So you know what's funny?
And-
Our party had open bar apparently last year. This year they had tickets where everyone got 2 tickets for a drink. I was like, I gave mine away because I was like, yo, I just get Coke for free, baby. They don't give a shit
Yeah.
about that, but everyone else is like, man, only 2 drinks, what the fuck? But then it ended up they made the drinks crazy strong. So my buddies only used like one of their tickets because they were like, God, I can't drink any more of this.
Dude, have you seen? All right, working security
Oh, baby.
at like an office Christmas party is the fucking worst,
Oh, I
right?
can imagine.
Because all
dude.
these dudes get like, you know, like during the office Christmas party, this is where all the shit comes out because
Oh, baby.
like that nigga like a cube over you've been salty about because he keeps giving you your tasks, right? Like you finally you build up like the liquid courage to finally have words with him.
Oh, no.
Or like, you know, like, oh hey, that hot guy over in sales, I finally can go talk to him,
Oh,
and then
God.
shit happens.
Oh, no.
And that's how cocaine gets in the bathroom, guys.
Oh no.
This
My
is
office-
real life.
My office party's so much more tame compared to this.
Oh my
No,
God.
I've seen things.
Yeah, ours was just at a country club and we just ate food and then everyone basically left. Like my coworkers were like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to a bar for an after party," and then they were all either tired or a couple people didn't even show up, and it just didn't even happen.
God, man, fuck office parties.
Tyler.
Dude. I'm jaded.
Tyler,
What?
hold on, interrupting your week. Did you watch the Walking Dead mid-season finale? Because I hear that it was shit.
Oh man, fuck
I
that
I
episode.
haven't watched. Leslie and I haven't watched the last like 4 episodes.
Dude, for someone who has no indication that I care about Walking Dead, Google seems to think I need to know about how garbage fire the fucking mid-season finale was.
I knew it was. It doesn't. It's no news to me.
It was
That's
just a
why it
bad-
ain't-
was just a
why
bad
do you
episode.
think-
Was it really?
If
Truman?
it
Yeah, I hated it.
Oh,
I just didn't
Jesus.
enjoy the episode in the slightest.
Oof.
It wasn't
Damn.
even like reveals or anything. It was just everything about like A, what was going on, and B, the way every single character acted in the episode was just fucking terrible.
Yeah, they're already gearing up for Christmas. Oh no, that's just it. Like I don't know. I feel like by the end of the season, just like Supernatural, I'm so far behind in Supernatural. I've just been skimming episodes at this point.
Tyler, come on, it's your baby.
It's not.
It's Tyler. It's your
It really
child.
isn't.
You've committed. You've sank in the years.
No, listen. I'm gonna say spoilers right now.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Please do.
I don't care because I know anyone listening who had because I know we have smart listeners. You're not like me, and you're not watching Supernatural currently. You're smarter than this, listeners. I know you are. Yeah, but like last season, Cass died. I knew that was shit. But you know, guess who comes back this season?
Oh,
Cass.
No.
Oh no. Oh no. And the way they brought him back is bullshit. And also, there's this guy in the last season
Tyler.
who got shot in the face. I know what you're about to say. Let me finish. All right. This dude gets shot in the face, and then they dump his body right, like in the fucking ocean. And then he's like, "Yo, surprise, motherfuckers!
Wait,
Some
Tyler,
fries, motherfuckers!"
What was I gonna say?
Sunrise, motherfucker.
Yeah. I don't know. What were you gonna say?
You said a whole
About
lot.
how
What
no
were you
one
gonna say?
Yeah, about everybody not dying, actually dying
Well,
in that
no,
show.
Not really. I was just gonna say, how are you surprised by anything at this point? Because like
I'm not.
like, this
I'm
is
not
dumb- You
surprised.
said this is dumb bullshit. It's like, hasn't it been dumb bullshit for years and years?
No, this is bad. Tim, this is really bad. Like you don't understand. Like this. Like that like you have to figure, right? The amount of like how long I've been watching this show for.
Hell yeah, dude.
For me to say like this is actually like enough. I can't do this anymore. I feel like that says something.
Oh baby.
Like this is just wrong. Like everything about this season is just wrong. Like I can't even get into
Trash.
the monster of the week episodes anymore.
Oh no, those are the good ones.
And those were the ones that really kept me watching, honestly. But I can't even get into them anymore because like it's just bad. Like it's just all bad. It doesn't seem convincing anymore. Like I'm done.
Oh
So Freeman, what are you doing this
god. Oh
week?
man.
So
Sad.
I've been avoiding doing this one for a couple weeks, but it was this like visual novel that came out for free on Steam, and the anime community's been memeing the shit out of it because apparently it's very dark and depressing. It's called Doki Doki Literature Club, and I want to play through it this weekend so I can finally avoid these spoiler memes that are all over the internet. So I'm gonna try and do that. I don't know how long the game is, but apparently it's big enough that the Game Theory did a bunch of videos on it. PewDiePie has an 8-part video series on it. This thing is big
Oh,
enough.
God.
So I want to play through it. Other than that, I was talking to Luigi about this. I'm catching up on this show called Recovery of an MMO Addict.
Wait, you talked to Luigi? Really?
Yes, it was like like 2 messages over Facebook. He awoke from his raiding dungeon to answer my message like 3 days later. But it was this anime where this woman, she's like approaching 30, she gets fired from her job, so she goes home and says, I have enough life savings, I'm just gonna play MMOs for a while before I get my next job, and she gets hooked on them.
Oh baby.
But it's kind of like the plot of how she meets this guy through the game, and they were former like business like associates, and the two of them both like connect, and she recovers from her MMO addiction. And it's a very lighthearted and nice show. Luigi already finished, and he's like, the show's fucking amazing. Everyone is talking about how like this is the wholesome anime, and I'm halfway through it, and it's very good. So I want to watch the last 5 episodes of that and try and finish it off this weekend.
Where is that?
That one's on Crunchyroll.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's a
It'll
little
help-
slower paced,
It'll
but it's a
help
nice
Val
show.
and I figure out how to help save Luigi from his spiral.
Luigi
Oh,
watched
God.
the show and learned nothing from it.
Did
Because-
you like
because
it?
the
Like
show's about-
Supernatural?
Because the thing is,
Did
the
you
show's about a
expect
bunch of-
anything less?
No, I didn't. Not because the show's about like a bunch of casual MMO players, and I can see Luigi watching going, fucking casuals, as he turns back to his second screen that has his raid going.
No, he's gonna be listening to it while he's playing WoW. Oh my god. Yeah, fuck. God, what a. I don't know what's
Yeah.
worse, thinking that Luigi learned nothing, or that you actually spoke to Luigi and he
was
actually
like-
responded to you.
It was like 2 messages over the course of 3 days.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think that's basically it for my week.
That's it.
Oh, also it's Hanukkah this week, so
Yeah,
Oh,
Hanukkah.
yeah,
shit.
Freeman,
enjoy
I have to
your
ask you
8
about-
crazy nights.
I have to ask you about Chanukah when we're done here.
All right,
I've
no
been
problem.
ordered by a higher power over me.
A higher power. Oh,
Yeah. Who could order me to ask you about Chanukah?
of course.
Freeman, you better get used to my racially insensitive pronunciation of Chanukah.
It's perfectly
Hold on.
fine.
Anti-Semitic? Anti-Semitic?
Might as
Thank
well.
you for giving the correct term for what's happening right now.
Yeah, as you know, I am a connoisseur of these kind of jokes. Man, I'm an awful person.
Oh god, as far as my week, what was 2 weeks ago? I think I'd started playing Witcher 3. So I played more Witcher 3. I gotta keep recording that. Yo, I still haven't edited the video I recorded a few days ago. I finally have to learn how to use the blur tool in Adobe or figure out how to blur out footage.
Oh,
Oh,
for real?
yeah.
'Cause there are plenty of topless people in that.
Hell yeah, dude.
I just had my first bit where I just walk up to follow a witch, and then she's just in a tub when I get to her 30 seconds later. It's like, oh, hello.
That will increase viewership
Oh.
but decrease dollars
I am
by the same
I
rate.
Nah,
already
you
don't know
just need to
dollars,
get
come
like
on.
the censorship bar and just move it throughout the video.
Just have a shitty black bar that wobbles around a lot. Oh my god.
Yes.
That's that 2000s 90s aesthetic right there. That Jerry Springer shit.
But that game's gonna go on forever. But man, that game's really fucking good. Like Witcher 3 is just so. I played my Tyler. You played the game, right? Did you play the game?
No, I
I
haven't.
forgot because you talked about you're like it happens more. It made me forget.
PUBG has ruined my life.
That's true.
Tim.
So I'm also rereading the books. I'm into the second short story compilation already.
You're rereading the books? God.
Yeah,
Dedication.
dude. Okay. So Tyler,
Fuck.
in the game, you learn almost immediately that because I didn't play the first 2 games. Ciri is the daughter of the Emperor. No, she's.
I
not.
know this.
Well, I didn't know that, and that's not how the book.
Wait!
Go.
Timeout. No. You said you read the
I
books.
did.
They say it in the short story, Tim.
That she's the daughter of the Emperor.
Yes, and that she ran away.
She's not the actual daughter.
Wait,
She-
what?
Is it? She's the queen. She's the daughter of. She's Calanthe's granddaughter.
Wait. No, wait. Shit, now I'm confused.
Yeah,
'Cause
Tyler,
now,
fuck
now
you.
wait, now you're
Making me
fucking
doubt
me up.
myself.
No, wait, now you're no, because that's what I interpreted as. That she was.
Tyler, he's gonna marry her to get power.
Oh,
You came at me so fucking hard.
I
just now.
did. I feel
So
bad now.
Oh my god.
Yo, my memory, dude.
Oh.
You should know by now. My memory sucks.
Oh my god.
You had me so in doubt. It was ridiculous.
Yo, see,
Jesus.
this is. Why can't that come out during like One Night Werewolf?
Oh my god.
Why? Why can't I just believe myself in my own bullshit for 2 seconds to win a game of One Night Werewolf?
Anyway, God, that's
I
why
just
I'm
need to be
rereading.
drunk, Leslie.
That's you do. That's why I'm rereading the books because the story is different for sure. I'm not even back up to Ciri yet, but I knew that was wrong. Tyler, you know what story I just started?
What?
I just started the saddest short story. Do you remember the story that involved the mermaid and the Duke?
That was just funny.
That's not even a spoiler because they're not the main characters, Friedman. But the side plot of that short story is like the fucking like gut-wrenchingest twisting thing ever.
It was,
It's
but
so
like
sad.
it was also comedy. I thought it
Man.
was comedy.
Yeah, it was like a dark comedy where like here's the Duke being a fuckboy, and then on the side it's like, oh, but this other thing is the worst. Anyway. Anyway. Other than The Witcher 3 being amazing, I'm trying to record more. Because now my job, so this wasn't in last week because we didn't record last week. Last week, my job told my whole team, we are stopping production completely, and we are going to research doing the project over from a completely different method with a much better timeline in mind. So, I am now working 40-hour weeks for the first time since fucking July.
Yeah.
And it feels so weird to have to come home with the sun still up even in winter and have like 2 hours before I would normally even get home. It's no longer just come home, eat, and go to sleep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I definitely want to start getting more recording done. I also... Evil Within is going to be done uploading by the beginning of next week, I think, like Sunday or something. I have to edit a bunch of Witcher. I have a... For once, I have a nice big backlog, but Val and I, next Saturday, the 23rd, are going home for Christmas for a week.
Yay.
So I need to get some videos done, at least so I have stuff for that. And I also want to record some Star Wars-related things. Not Force Unleashed, as I announced 2 weeks ago, because it's some technical bullshit. But there will be some Star Wars content coming this month.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, on my own channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, Val and I are watching The Crown Season 2, because that just came out on Netflix on Friday. It's still really good. It's still a very interesting show. It's pretty tense, even though it's all historical stuff. It's still really cool to watch these, like, the power plays and everything. It's like if you took the Game of Thrones political aspect and just made it proper British. Like, there was... this literally the episode we watched before bed last night was the younger sister of Queen Elizabeth was like kind of the embarrassment in did you guys see The King's Speech, the movie from
Yes,
ago?
No,
I
love
did.
that movie. Freeman, did you see it? I didn't hear you.
No, I didn't.
So Tyler, you know the brother who abdicates for George?
Right. Yeah, he's like, fuck it, I'm out. I fell in love with this other bitch.
The younger sister is kind of like that same rebel in the monarchy. And in the last episode, she met up with this photographer who took a picture of her with like her dress kind of slid down so it looked like she was nude when he took a high, like it was her shoulder tips, her shoulder blades, and her head, and it looked like she might have been nude. And she sent it to a newspaper, and it's the end of the episode where all the monarchy people, like all the assistants and everything, all see the newspaper. And the guy who until early in the season was the royal assistant, like this personal secretary to the queen, he sees it and he just makes this very unhappy face under his big mustache and then drops the paper aggressively and then takes his glasses off and just tosses them on the table and just makes a pouty face at the newspaper. And it's like the most British thing I've ever
Jesus Christ.
It's hysterical. But after that we have unless we watch Freeman's anime about WoW. WoW, not WoW.
It's not as good.
It's you rearrange and flip the letters and it's just WoW. But then I'm probably gonna make Val start watching Gundam Wing next week before we leave because I don't go fuck. I want to, even if it's just for me, even if she doesn't want to watch and walks out of the room, I just want to see the Blu-ray because I have been waiting a long time to see a really sick copy of Gundam Wing because that's my show.
Be ready for that shit to be in 4x3, motherfucker.
I don't.
The ultimate downfall.
There was a website called like OZC Anime before. Freeman, have we talked about this? I feel like
No, but I know the site you're talking about.
Aren't they like dead now?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Tyler, for a long time, the guy who ran it was hosting, like, he would make his own really high-end Blu-ray torrents from, like, as soon as anything was released in America, he would get them, or what he would do sometimes, he would get the Japanese Blu-ray and then crop the American audio over it.
Oh.
So it was, like, the best copy you could get. I can't remember. He had a Gundam Wing one. I can't remember if it was widescreen or not. I don't think it was.
Well, 1.33x1 is just 4x3, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's 4x3.
Okay,
What?
that's fine. That's what I figured.
I'll say if Cowboy Bebop's in 4x3, I feel like
Yeah.
They were
Gundam
all
Wing would
drawn,
definitely be.
especially with the way like Gundam was probably chugged out. I mean, you can't animate all that extra that's going to get cropped off. I mean, isn't original Gundam probably in 4x3?
Hold on, real quick. This is why you don't mess with
Original, like,
aspect
80s?
ratios.
Oh,
There's this one show, Initial D. They had a movie that aired in widescreen, but at the time, no one had widescreen TVs, so they
no.
letterboxed it to make it 4x3. But when they re-released it, they lost the original. So they had to then re-letterbox the 4x3. So now you're watching the original widescreen inside this black frame. I
God.
hate it. It's awful. You can't watch it in its original form anymore.
So
Oh,
sad.
jeez.
Holy shit, that's crushing. Actually,
It's
That's
okay.
rough.
The initial D movie's not that good.
that's the kind of thing. No, but that's the kind of thing that kills my dad. He's the kind of person who, whenever we watched anything in 4x3, we couldn't stretch it. Like, you know how a lot of TVs can stretch things by themselves.
Yeah.
He was like, "No way, we can't do that." And
it ruins it.
It
It
turned
ruins
me
it so
into that.
much.
It did that to me too. Because originally I was like, I don't give a fuck. I want to fill up the screen. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, nah, leave it alone. I want it to look right. I don't want it to be stretched like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, it fucks with the quality.
It really does actually.
Just
Yeah.
like a lot of other shows too, like in the 90s, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They can't make that widescreen because of how the way it was shot back then. Like it would show like way too much shit and it would just be really out of proportion and it wouldn't be good.
Mm-hmm.
So like even with the re-release, it's still in 4x3. Like the quality's a lot better,
Right.
but but it's still in the same aspect ratio.
Right. All right. Well, I think we've pretty much covered it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are going
Yeah.
to call it here. There should be a show next week. I don't think there's anything stopping us next week from.
Shouldn't be anything pressing.
But after that, we're obviously going to take a week off. I'm not bringing my computer home to record, and I don't think I don't have a mixer to like record 3 microphones or any bullshit.
We'll just all sit in a room together
Yeah.
and record.
Just use one. I'll bring my one microphone and Val's shitty old laptop, and we'll just all plug in. We'll just
There
plug
you
in.
go. Let's do it.
We honestly, we might talk about it. Just
We
for
might do like a
funsies.
mini podcast or something.
Just for fun.
Possibly.
It might be fun. Like Freeman, I know you have that whole week off, right?
Yes, I'm taking that whole week
Tyler,
that
you
you're
probably
home off.
don't have that whole week off. Yeah, I didn't think so.
You have-
Kill me,
Tyler, come
Are
on,
you're
man.
working the whole week?
man.
Just
I
26
work
29.
every day. My boss was just talking to me today about working 12-hour shifts for
I
everybody.
know that, but are you at least off Christmas?
No, I'm not off
Are you
Christmas.
Are you off in the evening any day that week?
Yes.
We can make something happen.
I mean, the only thing I'm thinking is that everybody's going to be hanging out, but we'll figure it.
Actually, it really depends. It depends. They might have me work, and if they do, they'll probably have me work a half a day.
Great idea.
Christmas.
Let's get everyone together and we'll do the TNT plus Squadcast review of
Disaster Artist.
Disaster Artist.
Freeman,
Oh,
we're on the
shit.
same page right now. I was literally thinking we'll take everybody to my house after, and I'll bring my microphone home. We'll just have it in the middle, and it'll sound like shit, but we'll all just be shouting at this microphone about what a good movie it is, and it'll be awesome.
Hell
That'll
yeah.
be our way of sneaking Val into
Anyway. Yeah, and
Yeah.
she'll have like 3 comments. We'll just hide the microphone and we'll make it a secret discussion. We'll splice in. Yeah, when oh my god, the 3 of us will sneak off, record our intro, and then we'll come back and record with everybody.
Listeners, this is a
Damn.
huge secret. Don't tell anyone.
Anyway, so that'll be it for this week. So this is Tim,
This is Andrew.
And just Tyler.
and we are the TNT Podcast, and we will catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
See ya.